You go to another place 10 years and you quit. I said, by that time, you're 48 or 50, right? I said, if you left the second one after 22 years, I said you ain't got no retirement coming in each month.
You're not vested.
Pop.
Yes. Go
We
ahead.
live, Pop. We are all the way live.
Okay, I'm ready.
Say we ready.
Okay.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but we are live. I have a new tambourine. It's Let's Talk About It with LEYA, the real, the raw, the relevant podcast. We are back at last. It is season 3, the premiere. I am so excited. I have with me today some of the cast of The Pandemic. I've got my people here, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna let you all introduce yourself. I won't hold you any longer because, as per usual, I am late and wrong. So I think we will start with, I'm going to say the guru. I'm like, I need the remote. You got to zoom in, brother. Are you focused, brother? Are you running the cameras? We got to zoom in on Grandma. Yes, the matriarch of the play. We'll start with you. Well, actually, before we get started, don't let me get in trouble.
Right.
Let me back my Bentley up. We're going to pray. We're going to jump off in prayer, and then we'll go ahead and get started with our introductions.
Okay.
PB, is it you or is it me?
I believe it's you.
That's fine. my husband, you want to do me the honor? Say husband. Oh, I know why I feel naked. You guys, I'm still not accustomed to not having my headphones.
Oh, okay.
You good?
Yes. Okay, husband, pray for us.
Heavenly
please.
Father, we come to you once more again in the name of your darling Son, Jesus Christ, where he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. And no one comes to you, Heavenly Father, but by me. This is what Jesus said, and I believe it to my heart. We want to thank you for this podcast. We want to thank you for your daughter LEYA, Heavenly Father, and we want to wish her a happy birthday on this day, because this is the day that you have made, so we're rejoicing and we're glad to be in it. And everyone that's here, we got Mom Green here, we got Pop Green, we got Grandma here, we got Pop Green, we got Peanut Butter, we have Erica, and I'm Edward, and we're just here. Thank you, Heavenly Father, for this gathering on her birthday, Heavenly Father, which is a special day. And we thank you for your blessings. We thank you for your love, joy, and peace, and all that you've done, doing, and going to do. And whoever we can reach through this podcast, Heavenly Father, we pray that it would help them in every way, whichever way you see fit, Heavenly Father. We give you all honor and glory, and this is our prayer. And we come to you by way of your Holy Spirit, in the name, the only name, our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen. I'm excited. Okay, so without further ado, we've got
that fan.
Listen, it wouldn't be this podcast without the tambourine, okay?
Okay.
It's the 3rd year. We gotta keep the tambourine going.
Oh, okay.
So yes, Miss Charlotte, I'm so grateful to have you.
Well,
I'm
thank
not
you.
gonna get emotional today. I am checking my emotions right now, but I'm so glad you're here, all of you. But you in particular, who are you? Or as my nephew would say, what your name is? What's your timetables?
Well, I am Charlotte Harris.
Yes.
In the play, I played the role of Grandma. I was the grandma in the play before this one. Mama knows a lot, but Grandma knows everything.
Yes.
So I am Grandma. I know everything. I am the matriarch of the family.
Yes.
And I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to do what I enjoy, and that is performing. And I had the opportunity. Well, I'm originally from Washington, D.C.
Yes.
3rd generation Washingtonian.
We can't skip over that. I was born in D.C.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
Washingtonians, yes. That's one of our coincidences.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Don't ask me what side.
Yes, very proud of that. Grew up with that, and I've had a very blessed life and had many opportunities, and I don't think I know how to say no. In high school, I started dancing, and a friend and I went and performed with one of my graduates, my fellow graduates from high school. She was teaching dance at a girls boys club, and I said to my friend, "We can do that." So we started a dance school at my church and taught dance, and then became a part of the Capitol Hill Arts Workshop, where I continued to dance and
Wow.
would be in plays. And my friend, who was working for a congressman on Capitol Hill, then moved to Dayton to work, and I came to visit her. Actually, she ended up working at Central State, and so I came and met the president, and he didn't want her to get homesick and leave, and so he offered me a job. And I was an English teacher. He thought because I taught English, I could write. And so he offered me a job in development and public relations, which I knew nothing about, but it got me started in higher ed, and I got my master's at Wright State and my doctorate at the University of Cincinnati, and went into higher ed, and this continued to, I went to, my first academic appointment was at Georgia College and State University. Then I moved back to Dayton because my husband then, who I met in Dayton, Robert Harris, who seemed to know everybody everywhere, he got tired of Georgia and wanted to move back. So I came back to Dayton and started working at, where did I work next? Wright State. Wright State was a perfect, and I retired from Wright State. I think I'm at the end of in my 7th year of retirement.
Okay.
And when I left Wright State, I was the dean of the College of Education and Human Services. So a lot of opportunities presented themselves, and I was always ready for oh yeah, I can do that. And it's been a really, really, really nice journey, and I was hopeful that I could get back into performing arts when I retired. And just before I retired, I think it was Wilma Thornton, because I was going to ballroom dance classes, and she announced it, and I got cast in Mama Knows a Lot, but Grandma Knows Everything just before I retired. And it's just been, I've just been enjoying every day of retirement. Never stop moving. That's one of my mottos.
Can I get the hookup at Wright State? I gotta finish my master's. I need a good word or two. You know
Oh, well, I'll be happy to connect you with whomever I can connect you with.
I pray my professor have mercy on me.
You never know who
I know, right? You never know who you're in the room with. That's amazing. My alma mater. I'm excited to have you. We're coming back because you dropped a couple bombs, so we'll be back. Let's go with your son, with the guru.
Yes, my son.
Yes, with Pop Green. How you doing?
Just fine. My name is Lawrence Young. I play Pop Green in the family,
Yes,
head of the household.
yes.
And my job is to keep the family together when they're having trouble,
Yes.
as most families do.
As most
With
fathers
the
do.
kids in the family always run to the man of the house,
Yes.
figuring out how to get out something they can't get out, and I try to help them to keep the family together.
Amen. Now, who are you? Who are you? A father?
Yes, I'm a father.
I know you're a husband because you
Yes.
got a great wife that's been
Yes.
getting you together with the clay.
Yes,
she's been our secret weapon.
yes, yeah. Well, before the son and daughter came into the world, I graduated out of high school in '62 from Roosevelt.
Okay.
I ended up getting the job at GM because I was going to go to the military, the Air Force, if I didn't find a job. So I went over to GM on Wisconsin Street.
Yeah.
3 times a week I used to walk up there, and the man said, "Well, I'm tired of you coming to this window. I'm hiring you right now. I'm tired of you coming to this window." So from that,
Persistence. That's a good lesson.
so from that point on, I stayed there 31 years.
Oh, wow.
But before that, while I was like the first 4 years there, the 4th year I got drafted into the military.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so I had to go to the military. I was stationed at Fort Meade, 24 miles from Washington, D.C.,
Oh, wow.
25 miles from Baltimore. So
My father worked at Fort Meade.
so when weekend came,
Demanding.
I would have a pass. So the minute I got my pass, now white guys would approach me to say, could you take care of my KP in the kitchen? I give you $25.
What's a KP?
Kitchen duty.
Kitchen duty.
Oh, okay.
Because he didn't want to do it. So I took his $25, I did it. So at 6 o'clock, I'm out there, so I ended up going to Washington, D.C. On the, you take a bus to go to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
I just like Washington, D.C. better than Baltimore.
Yeah.
Washington, D.C. is beautiful. If you just take your time and just see it, take a cab, just look. At the Lincoln Memorial, Jefferson Memorial.
Yes, enjoy the city.
Smithsonian Institute, I went there. So when I got out, I ended up getting my job back at GM. But what happened was they wanted me to, on the board they have where you can take a test. Like every 6 months if you want to be electrician or bricklayer.
Yeah.
So I took the test. I put down there for electrician. On the test I didn't know what I was looking at. Because they have like diagrams,
Yeah.
Schematics.
how does schematic drawings, what does the box look like if it's got 8 sides, but it's hard to tell it when it's open up. It's kind of tricky.
Yeah.
And you got A, B, C, D, or E. Which one is correct for this diagram. So you mark it down. So you could get a passing grade like 75 or to 95. 75 would get you into the journeyman to be an electrician or whatever you want to be.
Okay.
I got 74. Really made me mad as you know what. I said, you mean I gotta wait another 6 months just to see if I can get 75 just to become a journeyman. So
Apprenticeship program.
So I took it again. We'll get back to it later.
Sam will come back.
Okay.
Okay.
But
Yes.
then the kids came along. 80, my son was born. Right now he's like 42.
Okay.
I got a daughter, 40. She drives for RTA.
Okay.
My son drives a truck over the highway.
Okay.
So,
Just the 2 kids?
just the boy and the girl.
Okay.
But you know what? In reference to the play, well, in real life, my kids are sort of like the play. Because when something happens, guess what? I went to the bank one day to consolidate my bills.
Yeah.
So the lady said, I'm going to pay your car off. So she said, talking about that SUV you saw.
Yes.
So she said, you take it to the driving place and get your title. I said, okay, I'm going to do that in about a week or 2 weeks because I wasn't in no rush to get it.
Yeah.
So the day that I was going to go to the license place on Main, we got a call 8:30 in the morning from my son. He's driving down the highway, running to some construction stuff, destroyed his front end on his car totally.
Oh, I remember some of that story. You told us some of that.
You know what? Like Pastor always says, no matter how good something is, there's always going to be something else to block it. Like if you got a check in your hand, something's going to block that before you could take it back to the bank. So when he wrecked his car, I knew he didn't have no transportation, so what I did, I sold my SUV. I didn't give it to him.
Say so.
So he pays me each month.
For all the parents.
So
Yeah. That's how you do it.
so the downside of it is,
Oh gosh.
here's the downside I never forgot about. So I'm walking out, me and her was walking out the door to get in the car. So I'm thinking the SUV's in the back of the car. So I'm walking out there, where's the SUV? My wife said, you remember you sold it. So I forgot we have one car now. I said, what am I gonna do? I said, I bought this car for you. I can't drive it every day. She said, you're going to have to till you find something.
Yeah.
She said, we only have one way of transportation now. You don't have the SUV no more. She said, we're going to have to look to see what you can get to get around.
Yeah.
And you're not going to spend $20,000 anymore to do it either. Just to replace the SUV. So that's what I'm facing now. No, you can't go back to $20,000. She want me to do that.
Right.
Yeah, she just want me to get something to get around. But see, that's the family that's so much relation into the pandemic in a way.
Yeah.
See, this is what you deal with in a real family.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know what's going to hit you each day. And when it hits you, you have to be a man and a woman up to accept it. And to me, I can accept it because I came up through the ranks. And this is what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to go out there when you got old enough, to get a job, and you have to be a man enough to stand on your own 2 feet. But see, nowadays, if you told a young person to do that, what I went through, oh, I can't do that, What's the matter with that? Because they don't realize that you're on your own now. If your mother and father died tomorrow, what would you do?
Well.
Yeah, they don't understand that.
Come on, preacher.
Yeah, you're on your own. They're not here no more. And I told my son, it's like the pastor told me. I said, when I die and your mother die, you can't go to the graveyard and tell me at the graveyard, give me $100. Because I can't reach up out of the graveyard and give it to you because I'm gone.
Right.
See, they forget all about it. Young people do.
It's true.
I'm gone. And you can't get the money no more because I'm in the ground now. I try to pound that in both of my kids' head.
Yes.
I said, when we leave, you got the insurance policy to bury us, and you're on your own. You can sell this house, divide it. That's where it's going to be because one person can't stand in this house, and two can't either. So that's what you have to do to keep the family together.
Yes.
So ain't gonna be no argument when I'm gone.
Amen.
You got your inheritance, each of y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, see, that's what you have to do
Yes.
to keep the family together.
Yes.
Yes.
And to keep peace.
And keep peace.
Yeah, make it plain.
Yes.
I only have one live daughter, so she gonna get all my stuff as of now. So I ain't gotta worry about that part. But I could see how that could be an issue with family. Yes.
Yes, and it's the family, the average family is similar really to the pandemic.
Yes.
And they don't realize it, but these are things that you have to do, even though you might hate to do it, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
And when there's more than two kids in the family, you really have to put that on paper too, which most families don't do. You know, everybody needs to help the family. There's not one kid in the family who's going to get it all. That shouldn't be allowed.
Yes.
I don't have no favorites. There shouldn't be favorites in the family because she's cute or he's handsome. No, I'm not giving you this because you're cute and you're handsome.
Yeah.
I'm giving you this because you helped out in the family.
Yeah.
You don't give a kid that because all you're doing is spoiling him and making everybody else in the family hate this kid because you gave him this because he's cute or he's handsome. That shouldn't be allowed.
You made me think of something, another question that I'm going to ask you all when we get down to the get down, but as far as how the pandemic affected you and your family personally, but it made me think, did this make y'all want to get your affairs in order? Now, don't answer yet. We'll come back to it. Okay. But I just want to know because the pandemic was real, and so we definitely gonna talk about that part. But Pops, I'm gonna pass the mic, and we're gonna come back around. Okay. And we're gonna pass it to your brother. To your right. Is that your right or your left? Yeah. To your right. To your right.
Yeah. To right.
To my right.
To your right.
Yeah.
That's me.
I get confused like if I was sitting over here too. Same thing. Yeah.
Say that to the right, to the right. It's the man with the plan.
Who would that be?
Peanut butter.
That me?
That's you. All eyes on you. It's you, peanut butter.
What's up?
What your name is? What's
My
your
name be
timetable?
Keith Irvin. I am playing the role of Peanut Butter for the second time as Grandma. We're in the same play. I am a part-time, full-time stand-up comedian as well, so, you know, jump on that bandwagon, why don't you? I, too, was born in a hospital, so we all got that in common, right?
He's a comedian.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm excited for the play. I am a 58-year-old maintenance man that I've worked at the hospital here in Dayton for 28 years. Hopefully with 6 more to go, and I can join that retirement wagon.
Praying for you.
Like my peoples here. I don't know. How I got in? I guess how I got into stand-up. You know, I turned 50, and I had a friend that wanted to do a bucket list, which I didn't even know what a bucket list was. He said, "Let's get on this workshop at the Dayton Funny Bone, and then if you bring 5 people, you can go up and do 5 minutes." I was like, you know, that sounds kind of cool, something to, you know, bucket list. So I went to the workshop. He didn't go to the workshop. So they helped me write 5 minutes right there on that Sunday, and then that Wednesday I had like 35 of my closest friends and family show up. And of course they told me they were there to see me fail.
So,
Which is, you know, they say that's what they do. So I got up, did my 5, and I did pretty good. And they were like, "You wrote a pretty decent set. You know, you should, you know, write more, practice more." And so 8 years later, you know, I've been to Florida, I've been to South Carolina, I've been to Chicago a couple of times. So, and it's hit and miss, you know, and some gigs don't pay as well as others, so there's always a beer involved in it. So,
So take what you can get.
so yeah, you take what you can get. And what you're trying to do is get recognized and get people to I guess follow you, and I guess invest in your talent or whatever. So that's the journey I'm on right now. You know, with this play, I can't get out there as much as I'd like to, you know what I mean? And plus, I'm not as young as I used to be, so working third shift is kind of hard to go to a gig at 8, go to work at 11, get off in the morning, and you know what I mean? So I kind of stood back from that and just usually take like weekend gigs if I can get them. And like I said, sometimes they pay, sometimes they don't. But it's the people you meet, you know what I mean? If you can get a bunch of strangers in a room to laugh and forget about their troubles for that day, it's
good.
It's pretty amazing, you know, especially when they come up to you and thank you, and you know, it's pretty awesome.
Well, I'm not gonna chime you too much because Keith is coming back to be with us next week.
Yeah.
And he'll have his own personal show. But I do want y'all to know he's actually very funny. He's actually really, really funny. I've got to go to a couple shows, and he's so humble, as though he's not funny at all. And he really knocks it out the park to the point where I remember a show we went to, and somebody's like, "Hey, that's the guy." Hey, stopping him before he gets to the door and stuff. And I'm like, "You said you ain't funny." But he's got.
I paid that guy $20, by the way.
Yeah. Before we go.
It was $20. I was like, here, just showing off a little bit. So.
Okay, trying to do the impress thing. But hilarious, and I'm humbled and honored to know you. And just so y'all know, since we're reintroducing and I'm reintroducing myself to you all, I've always wanted to do comedy. So Keith is going to mentor me.
Okay.
And since I've met him, I've got to meet some other comics. And I guess I'll just say it now. I actually got a I don't know if it's paying or not. I doubt it. Got offered to do my first couple minutes when I get ready. My first set. So I'm excited about that, and got to meet some other comedians that are down to help mentor a sister.
Yeah, they jump right in. That's what comedy.
Yeah.
That's the thing about comedy and comedians. You could be a stranger and walk in, and it'll be your first time. They'll treat you like they've known you. They give you.
Right. Encouragement.
They encourage you. You know what I mean? They give you feedback. They give you. We call them tags. On a bit, they say, hey, don't do. You might want to hold off. You might, if you say this instead of that. You know what I mean? So the next time they go, they just don't like push you away. You know what I mean? Like some entertainment.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's no ego. It's left at the door. You know what I mean?
Everybody I met was very humble.
Yeah.
Very humble. They gave me. I definitely asked for some pointers and they gave me some good stuff to do, some stuff to do and some stuff not to do.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wyatt, and I got a sticker on my refrigerator.
Oh yeah, Wyatt.
And the young lady, I forget her name, but shout out to the lady that went up.
That would be.
I hate to say it this way, that pulled your little card out your pocket, but she was funny. She was hilarious. But anyway,
from Lima.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's.
Yeah. So anywho.
And I'm having a brain freeze right now.
It's all good, but they were definitely motivating, and it's. I guess I'll come back to that too. But if I was, I'll expound on that for the children. And one thing that I'll say. Well, I won't come back. I'll just hit it and quit it and move past it, and then I'll pass the mic. One thing, since season 3 of this podcast is what about the children, one thing that I do want all my children to know is never, ever, 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 let me look dead in the camera, ever give up on your dreams. This is something that I wanted to do forever and probably would have given up on it, not taking it seriously, or even thought that an opportunity would come. And when I mentioned it to Keith, the first thing out of his mouth was, well, go to a workshop. Better yourself. Get your skills together. Get around people that want to do what you do. And so I'm like, oh, so I can do it? I can do it. And so I just want to remind the kids, you can do it. You absolutely, positively can do it. And with that being said, I'm going to pass my mic to the brother, to my pseudo man.
See, I don't even know what that means. No.
Young people, my pseudo, my fake husband.
Well, everyone, my name is Richard Davis, and I'm in the play of the pandemic, and I happen to be playing the husband to Erica. My name is Edward. I have another role, but that'll be down the line another day, another time. But right now, I'm working on concentrating on this one here. And I've been in the play with Grandma over here, and Grandma and Peanut Butter. We done, like he was saying earlier, Mom knows a lot, but Grandma knows everything. And also, we were in a play, Emergency, You Don't Know My Story. And you was Peanut Butter in that, too.
I wasn't Peanut Butter. I was security /
Yes, slash Peanut Butter, right.
I had a lot of
But, how I've never done any stage acting of any sort of anything. I might do my acting down the street when I was on the street, but I've never done any acting at the food. Right, thank you. And what happened years ago, right before the play started, I was over here at DATV singing with this choir of Pastor Leon. his choir. They were doing a Christmas program,
Oh.
and I came over with the choir and sung with them and everything. And then I'm leaving to go home, and Sister Thornton, she caught me in the parking lot and she said, "Deacon Dave, she said, have you ever done any acting?" I said, "None." I said, "Well, not the kind that you want to see." and she said, "Well, we're going to be doing a play here, and if you like, you can get in." I said, I'm thinking like, okay, right. And so I gave her my number, never expecting you to call, never, as God is my witness, And about in October that year, she called me, and I said, "Oh, I got caught." I gave my word that I would try it, and so we came down, and that's when I met Cortez and Mom Green and the cast, and it went well. You had to apparently it went well, and I didn't think I could do it, but given my word, I had to put everything I could into it, to do the role that I was, a small role, which was start out small, and work the way up, and I enjoyed it, and once I did, I said, "Oh, I can." Now here's the kicker. They let me sing. So that day, I guess he sort of knew that that's going to entice him. Okay, boy, you let me sing a song? Okay. So that was good for me, So, but I enjoyed it, and the cast members. In my bio, I think I was thinking about my most important thing in my life is my family. And then I've created more family. Meeting Mama Green and Grandma and Peanut Butter, and then other cast members and everything too. So that and so I see them, I say, "Hey, Mama Green, hey, Peanut Butter," it's just natural. And then the camaraderie around the play was good, And this play here, you need that camaraderie, to get everyone get together on the same page. The pandemic, because we're living in it.
Yes.
So we have to be aware of what's going on around us, and then our family members are being affected by it. Everything is going on, we've lost family members, this and that or whatever, So it's very important that this play go forward, and people can understand that family need to be there for family.
Yes.
That's why you have that, because we need supports, And I'll tell you, one of the key thing in family you need in life is laughter.
Yes.
You're gonna have some tears, moans, aches and pains, but laughter cures. Laughter cures a lot of things, because you sitting up. I go to a comedy club, and when I leave there, my jaws are tired and my muscles are hurting because I've laughed. And that's what comes. Man, you did great, And laughter is, and then you go home, you get some eat, and you sleep good. So we need laughter. That's what life is about, because you're gonna have enough tears and pain and this and that. So as much as anytime you can laugh, laugh. And I tell people, see, I can laugh at you until I learn to laugh at myself.
Right.
You have to learn. So I'm like, if you see me fall, don't laugh yet. You'll say, "You okay?" "Yeah, I'm fine." "Man, that was funny." Then you crack up laughing.
Right.
Make sure I'm okay. Then, man, that was funny. If arms failing,
I'm laughing while I'm helping you up off the ground.
Well, just help me up. But I'm just saying,
I'll help you.
But but I learned to laugh at myself, so it makes it easy to laugh at other people, but I'll make sure people are all right, But and that's what it's about. And we're looking for we need some joy, because there's enough pain and anguish and frustration and confusion and all this stuff. Wherever you can find some joy and laughter, get it, take advantage of it, because you never know.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying doing this play. I can get out the house and meet new people, and yourself and Pop Green and the other cast members and everything.
Yes.
And the play has a story to tell on how we conduct ourselves around each other. We need to take precautionary measures and make sure everybody's all right. We have some setbacks here and there, but we go forward. We take one step back and you take 2 steps forward. So we just want to do that and get this play done and everything, and people can get the message, and we can grow from it. Everybody, people that's in it, we are all within it, and plus the people that will see it, we can grow from it, and just go further and do what we need to do.
I was going to tell the people, because Richard is very humble as well, but I saw this play with Mama Knows a Lot and Grandma Knows Everything, and between Grandma and you and everybody, actually, y'all did Peanut Butter. So Peanut Butter was in there.
Right.
Y'all did a great, fantastic job. I was motivated, but I'm like, brother, you was clean. You sang your tail off. I'm like, okay, what's up with these humble folks? And of course, Grandma, you gonna be humble, but clearly, Grandma knows everything. So Grandma knocked it out the park.
You take no mess.
No, she
Grandma
did.
take no mess.
She knocked it out the park, and
No,
I
she
was
don't
like,
take a mess.
she did it, and Pop Green. I don't know if you got to see it, but at the end, I was like, yes. I'm like, yes, Grandma, yes, do your thing.
Right.
You know, just as an upcoming community actress, and hopefully more. Say that I'm motivated, but that this play inspired me. Seeing y'all up there, and just knowing that, just having been with y'all for so long and practicing and doing what we do, and I'm like, oh, we really actually have the capacity to be able to do what we're trying to do, and I'm grateful for it. But I'm just grateful just to see that you guys are stuck with it, with the acting, you know, because y'all know things get a little frustrating. I'm like.
Let me say, I do believe truly, because dealing with from the first play to the second one and here now, I've noticed over the time span that what it is, it takes an individual commitment. Individually, when we accept a role, you know, you take an individual commitment. So when each individual commit to doing their role, then everybody's come, because everybody's just jamming, it's just coming together. Mom, Grandma doing her role, Peanut Butter, I'm doing my, you know, and see, when I'm doing my role, then I don't step on your toes. When you do your role, you know, we allow that individual to do their part.
Right.
So, and that's coming together. And when it comes together, like when you say, and that builds the confidence in each individual as we go down this road, you know.
Right.
And okay, because when you see Pop Green step up and get his lines right, and I do, you know, and Mama Green, you know, Grandma, then you say, okay, and so, but what it does is make you say, oh, they're doing it, I gotta do mine right.
Say that.
Yeah, you know, you say, man, I can't mess up, because everybody who's they're looking at you. I'm just saying.
Who's the weakest link?
That's it. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's why when I'm concentrating on getting my part right and everyone is doing the same thing, then it comes together.
Yes.
You know, because everybody knows where they're supposed to be, when they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to say.
Yeah.
And that's and then and see, to me, because the first two plays, when I sit back and watched it myself at home, I'm like, we did pretty good. It went well.
Yes.
You know, everything went well, the whole thing. And so you say, it can work. So we just want to put that vibe out to everyone in this play here. You know, it can work.
Yes.
But but the only way, you got to put the work in.
Right, absolutely.
You
You
gotta
listen,
you
You got to put the work in.
You gotta put it in. Yeah.
And here's the thing. You see, and you notice when you're home alone, it's hard to pick that script up
It is. You're right.
for some of us.
I picked mine up.
But I first
Wait a
I'm
minute.
alone, so.
No, but I noticed. Now I'll tell you, Grandma, she got bam. You know,
grandma's.
bam. You know.
Grandma's a professional. at
Right,
this point.
right, and that's why I say, well,
She got it.
but I know we put the time in. Peanut butter, you know, I mean, the peanut butter roll he's playing this here and all that.
He's got
Just
it.
moving, you know.
He's got
So I say, well, I can't let him down.
Right.
You know, not to put pressure on myself, but I can't
Amen.
let him down. I'm on, you know, because,
No, put the pressure on yourself, husband.
well, I'm just saying, I had
Remember
to.
what I told
had
you?
to.
Don't
Right.
embarrass me now,
Yeah,
husband.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I can't embarrass you either. You know, and that's a part of the whole coming together and actually really enjoying it and committing to it. It's like, I don't want to let you down. I'm like, I'm in the play with Grandma. I'm not about to let you down. Like, what?
Well, see,
I'm doing my part.
I'm the same way. I looked at the player at home. I'm sitting by the computer. I said, the voice said, well, you can't let them down in the play.
Right.
And then the voice said, well, you can't let the audience down either. Because
I know
they're
that's
gonna
right.
be looking at you.
Those are your critics.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't let them down because they paid to see it.
Right.
So,
Right.
You know what, Pop? Give me some. Say they paid.
so this is what this is all about. The voice said, they paid to see, so you can't let them down. You gotta remember every line when you step out.
Right.
That's what the voice was saying.
Yeah, and that you know,
Yeah.
and that's what I've been telling people. Y'all, I've been telling folks, I'm like, y'all gonna get y'all's money's worth, you know, and I'm like, but y'all gonna get y'all's money's worth.
All while you're praying.
You gonna get your money. I'm gonna leave it all on the stage.
Yeah.
We all leaving it all on the stage, and we gonna, yes, and even if we gotta knock down, drag it out of each other, we gonna leave it all on the stage.
This is, I'm thinking, you know, what you're doing with the kids. Let's get serious when you're talking about helping the kids out.
Yes.
See, this is what, things like this is what they need to see us doing what we need to do. And then you're training them, raising my kids, I told them, like you were speaking about when you pass on. Well, I raised my kids to be independent.
Yes.
I said, now, right now, we paying your bills, and, I said, but come a time when you're grown and you're on your own, or I'll be gone. So where do you go? You say, well, I said, you go to yourself. And say, well, I said an example. I went to work, I tell them, a man don't work, he don't eat. That's my, or he eat last. But but I mean, you work.
Comedian.
Yeah,
gonna feed you.
Ramen noodles all day, baby.
Hey, as long as you get that energy.
Gonna feed
Love
you.
it.
That's important. Kids need to know that. Now you're the defense wall for them, but then you say, well, that wall's not going to always be there. So I want you to grow up so you can take care of yourself. And I'm proud of my kids because they got it.
Yeah, they got it.
They got it, and so I don't worry as much what's going to happen.
Right.
So I know it's going to be okay. And that's what it's about with the kids you're dealing with.
Right.
In the home setting that they're in and everything.
Yes.
And so you worry about that.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day I worry about my kids. I think about my kids. Speaking of my kids, and I'm so glad you brought them up because I wanted to bring this up earlier. This season 3 is dedicated. I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna say it because y'all, I really sit and ponder. I'm talking about hours about one little line, about one little thing, and so even the dedication of season 3, and I originally wanted to dedicate it to my daughter. I have one live daughter. She's 21 in college at OU. Since I'm reintroducing myself, yes, she's in her senior year, y'all. I'm really old out here in these streets, okay, in these sanctified streets, but. And I wanted to dedicate season 3 to her. I can't remember. I think I dedicated season 1 to her. But as I was doing my reflection and my meditation on it, I said, you know what? I'm going to dedicate it to all my daughters, present and past. I do have a daughter that passed away. But then as I started pondering on that, I thought about my other daughters, my goddaughters, my neighborhood daughters. And then I'm like, well, I can't just do the daughters and leave out my sons. And so, and I haven't, God hasn't graced me yet to birth a son with my 38-year-old young self. But if it were my husband, find me, brother, quickly. Come on, so we can get these kids out popping. No, just kidding. But if God blesses me, that I would love to have another child and daughters and sons. But I thought about the same thing, that not only do I have all of my boys in my neighborhood, all of my kids in my neighborhood, I also have grown godchildren that have their own children. So, long story short, it's to all my daughters, to all my sons, and or to all my children near and far, and the Holy Spirit. And I say this very humbly, and I am going to get a little bit emotional, but I'm suck it back in real quick. Let me suck it back in. Probably even say it. I have been blessed to have children that I have yet to meet, and that literally call me mom, that literally reach out to me for advice, that literally, and some of those kids are way in Africa, and I feel like in Ghana and in other places, and I feel like David Michael Wyatt, shout out to David Michael Wyatt and Toby, I always shout them out. In fact, I love y'all. I'm coming to see y'all, okay? I need to be with y'all. Music is my first love, y'all. But one thing that he says, oh gosh, what was I gonna say? I forgot that quick. David Michael Wyatt. Well, that's okay.
Let me say this.
Please.
In raising my children, my sons and daughters, they had friends. And when they come over to play and everything, I treat them like they were my children. I would fuss at them, I would fuss at my son, I would fuss at them, and then as they get older and grown on, when they're adult here life, I'll be out somewhere and I hear somebody say, hey, Pop, hey, Dad. And I'm looking, and I look around and I managed to come up house. I mean, you'd be surprised, and my grandchildren are the same way. I have some of their friends call me Papa, and I mean, that's just, you're expanding your family. And then but here's the key is that when they were around you, you always showed them love.
Right.
and they know, you know, and they, or you give them some good advice or something like that, and they remember those things. You know,
yeah, they do.
Because it's enough bad going on to interfere, but when they see the bad,
Right.
then you can think of something good. I have to give you the story real quick. I'm gonna go, but my son,
take your time. We got
when he was just got out of high school. See, raising up, I told him, I said, man, you can't hang around everybody. You got to be careful who you hang around with. And he was in the car with some of his friends.
Yeah.
You know, they was riding around, and he was thinking of doing something wrong. You know, and they, man, let's go get this money, you know, this and that. And he said, Dad, he told me this about a year ago. He said, Dad, this has been a long time. He said, Dad, when they was talking about doing this wrong and everything, all of a sudden you popped up on my shoulder. I said, what? He said, yeah, Dad. He says, I'm sitting back in the back seat. All of a sudden he said, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? And he said, he got out and I always told my son, I said, if you're robbing somebody and they talking about rob a bank, you get out and come home.
Right.
Why? I said, you need an alibi.
Right.
I was home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you know. But he got out the car that night, came home, and was in the house. And the next day, he said his day was on the news, you know.
Oh,
and I see, I'm just saying this, letting you know, you know, that's what with the kids. That's what you want to teach them, you know. That everybody you see and meet is not good for you to be around, and you want to teach you. And see, the parent has to make good decisions,
Right.
so the kids can emulate that and make good decisions as they get older. And because there's so much distractions out here, they're going just like that, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And that's with your kids, you know. That's what it's about.
Could have messed up his whole life. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is the key, to be the example. And what I was going to say that I forgot was that with David Michael White, one of his songs says that I've got receipts to prove it. And so, Grandma, one thing that one of my sayings is that I don't talk because I have lips. I got that from my ex-husband. But I don't like to say things that I don't have a witness or somebody in particular on the podcast that can back it up. And so when I say that I have children that call me, and grown children, mom from overseas, I have receipts to prove it, just to come back to my point. But I'm with you. We need that example, and we need people, whether and to be honest, whether you're parents or not, we need good citizens.
Good people.
Yes, we just need good people.
Right.
You know, just to lead the way. And I say that because you never really know. When I brought up Maya Angelou, I couldn't find the quote exactly, but she talks about how one of her greatest gifts is motherhood, but then her next greatest gift is being able to make other kids hers as well. And I'm really jacking up the quote, but you know that she's basically embracing others and how they've allowed you to be a part of their life. Yes, and so
It's a blessing.
it is.
Yeah.
I had some of my kids came, actually a whole handful came maybe about a week or so ago by surprise, and one of my new kids was there, and I actually was praying. I'm like, Lord, I wish my new kid could meet all my other kids, and they just happened to knock on the door, and I'm like, stop lying. All of them.
You
And
never lie.
I know, and I love him, but it's like as I was addressing the kids, and I'm calling my kids and I'm fussing at them and all of this, and my new kid, he's like, well, which one of them is your kid? Yes, he didn't know. And so that's exactly what I said. I said, well, all of them. I said, and you too. And you know, and I just thank God, because the reality is it's a gift beyond something that I personally could have ever asked for or wanted. And me, I was one, let me tell y'all, I wanted a big family. I wanted 20 kids in the ranch, the farm, and all that good stuff. I mean, I wanted a whole daycare, you know. And now that I'm almost 40, that I'm turning 38 today, I'm like, oh, okay. Well, I'll take another one or two or three. I'll take them. But you know, I also will take this cruise on this yacht if that's what.
Well, you need
that's what you decide. Yes.
But you have those children that look up to you as a mother figure, and that's important, because a lot of them don't have they'll have a mother in the house, but they don't have that mother figure.
Right.
Yes.
You know, or they don't have a mother in the house. You know?
Right.
So or a father. That's the same. Even more. I mean, a father figure in the house is very important.
Yes, it
because
is.
it gives the house structure. You know, and then here's the kicker: when you get the mother and the father to come together like this, the house is solid.
Yes, it is.
Because I told my wife, I said, listen, we got to deal with these kids till they're 18 at least. I said, so you want to book in? I'm on at least.
Right.
I said, we're gonna book in them. And I said, man, we sat down and got our story together. How we're gonna play this? No, you can't. Yes, you can. No, you can't. So when they come to me, no, you can't. 'Cause I ain't gonna say what your mama say, 'cause she gonna go to mama. No, you can't. See, but we say yes you can. I say yes you can down in the living room, and she say yes you can in the bathroom. Then it's we can. I'm just saying, but see, they can't split us because kids will divide and conquer you.
Yeah, they will.
And the house is chaos.
Yes.
And have me and her at each other's throat.
Right.
I said he couldn't. I said he could.
Right.
I'm just saying. So that's why.
Right.
I said you have to get a plan.
Right.
You have to have a plan for kids because if not, they make their own plans,
That's
and
deep.
they're not good.
Right.
So wait a minute. Now we got to help the parents out now. So how did y'all get to this plan stage? This is before the kids or before they got too old?
It was during.
Okay.
During raising.
All right, during raising, you had a light bulb.
Right, because they would come to me, Daddy, can I play outside? I said no. And then they go to mother. She said yes. So from then they start coming to me, and they go to the mother. You know, they would never, So I said, sweetheart, you see, I just split us, Now and then I'm gonna tell you this one here because I'm particular about my daughters.
Yes. Okay.
When they were growing up, sugar and spice, everything nice. Daddy, can I go outside and play, ride my bike? Yeah, you go to that tree to that tree. You know, and don't let me. If I come out down and see you between these two trees, I'm coming to get you. So they know, and I come out, and they be right between the two trees. When they hit 13, 14, they said, Dad, can I go outside? I said, I'll look out the window.
I know that's right.
Okay, yeah.
Watch
See,
it.
y'all feel me on it. I said, because. And they said, why can't they go outside? So you see that little boy over there? Across the street. Across the street. I mean, but see, I'm acknowledging that because I know how.
Yes. Tell the truth now.
I'm just saying, that's what it is. So I'm saying, wait a minute. I don't mind doing my daughter, but I did to somebody else's daughter. You know, I mean, come on. This is what taking life serious and true for what it is because it's just a repeat. And a cycle. And then look how we are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, I remember my dad. I mean, he had 2 daughters.
Yes.
And my sister.
Yes.
And he was also a Boy Scout leader. And he would tell, y'all better stay away from my daughter.
I know that's right.
And then I have 2 daughters, too.
Yes. What did you do to protect your daughters from that time?
Well,
Or to prepare
but
them.
they good daughter, and their father. He's still with them. In fact, he's still east, and so that I brought them with me when I moved to Dayton. And and they're 6 years apart. And as soon as the younger one graduated from high school, the car was packed, and they moved back east. So they lived east. But my younger daughter did graduate from OU, by the way.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so we just, we expose them to lots of things, and we're able to give them lots of opportunities, and they're wonderful adults now. The younger one, who's been in school forever, is now a resident.
Yeah.
She's going to be, she's a doctor.
Yes.
After having gotten a PhD in Japanese literature from Yale, she said, well, my personal life isn't going to be meaningful. My professional life will be meaningful. Who cares about Japanese literature? I think I'll be a doctor. And she followed that path. And the older one is in education. She's a teacher, and now her new position is that she got her certificate in teaching English to those who for which English is a second language to us all. And so they've really done very well and are still doing well, and I think they were blessed to have 2 parents. In fact, I used to say I kind of feel like their dad is more like the mother because he talking to them all the time. And I'm more like the father, but they've done very well.
I love it. I love it. I don't want to run over the fact that you said y'all gave them opportunities. That's major for our kids. That's what I found out with working with these kids is that a lot of kids don't get an opportunity. They just don't have it. They just don't have a clue. They just don't know.
I think that's so important because you can't really know what you want to be. If you haven't been exposed, so to be,
something.
being exposed to a lot of different things, then you can really
Making choices.
think,
Yeah.
this is what I think I want to do.
Yes.
You know, it broadens your perspective and your opportunities.
Yes.
You know, on a directional point, you know, we look at the, I'm getting a little political here, but you look at the saying, America's the greatest.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at us now. But my point is, if all the children coming up were given opportunity, given opportunity that some do and some don't, to get an education. You talking about the strength, the greatness is in your strength, and it's your background. It's what you have, you know, coming in. You know, so education is key for everyone.
Yes, it is.
It's key, and it gives them something to keep their mind stayed on to, and not get. Well, I ain't gonna go to school because they won't. You know, they don't have this at this school, that school. But if everybody, every child was given the same opportunity, and they were allowed to pass or fail,
Right.
and see what they can do with that, you know, and then too, with they fail, you don't give up on them.
No.
Yes.
Because if a child failed and you say you a dummy, they give up on themselves.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're supposed to encourage them.
Encourage
You can do this. You know, instead of, you know, you might have to go to school, college for 8 years instead of 4. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But you encourage them, and that's what we need to do is encourage our children.
Right.
Because right now, the education, that's their key.
Yes, it
That's
is.
their key to be able to maintain themselves in the society that we live in. You know?
Well,
One
my-
thing is,
Go ahead.
Yes.
when I was young, we grew up in the boys' club. I don't know if you guys
I grew
ever
up in the
know
boys',
Yeah.
I grew up in
girls and boys'
too.
club anymore. So when we
Right.
went, we had the opportunity to play sports, to learn this, to go to the library, to do our homework. Where we had the whole staff there was for us, and they taught us things and kept us off from running the streets and getting into things we shouldn't be in.
Right.
And I stood by the boys club then, and I stand by it now.
Right.
I think they don't have a place to go, so they're just
Out in the streets doing
Out
whatever.
there.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
out there.
man.
Anything, whatever goes.
no
Anything
direction.
goes.
Yeah, just,
Yeah, that's sad.
Right. You know, and you like you saying, the boy, that was a key factor. The YMCA, you know, and the W, you know, for the women, all those, you know, coming up, you know, had somewhere to go, and they let you get off that frustration.
and they
Let
just
you get-
don't leave you.
Right.
They
They're there.
educate you
They're there.
and
The
Right.
education, yes.
build you.
And the sports and exercise, it just release a lot of frustration, you know. You come out, you go to school, get your grades and your classes and everything, then you go play some sports, you go home, get some eat, and then
Wood
you go to sleep.
shop, you learn to make.
Wood shop,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it had
Right,
the whole
right.
whatever
But
you
now-
wanted to learn. Now it's
It's just they're in their book all the time, or they're on the phone, or they game.
gaming. Yeah.
That's it. And look now, we have all these mass shootings in the school and everything. But what are they playing at home? They got this semi-automatic rifle, automatic rifle, killing guys on the screen. Man, I'm killing this guy, you know. And then here's the kicker: the guy killed them back, so they go and shut the game off and repower and start back over. So then they're sitting there. This is getting
Right.
boring.
It's
This is getting boring. Let me go get a real gun.
Yeah, right.
And he goes.
See, they see that.
Yes.
They imitate
They
that. They
don't-
want to go out there and get
Yeah.
what they saw.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true.
When my kids were growing up, my wife worked in the hospital. She took care of the newborns. So they like 8 and 12, or 10 and 12. And I'm there with them, helping them with their homework. So Friday, they says to me, "Who's going to be with us tomorrow?" She said, "Your daddy is." They get scared. But come Saturday morning, guess what? They said, "Where we going?" I said, "First we're going to go downtown to Wickie's bookstore." And it's still open.
Right.
Look, I don't know nothing about it.
It's next to Dayton Daily News then.
I worked at the news.
It was next to Dayton Daily News then.
Across the street.
Yeah. Where we going to go when we leave Wilkins? We're going to Dayton Mall. Oh, they love that.
Of course.
And then, instead of Dayton Mall, I'd take them to Selma Mall and send them all to hanging out there. You know what? They love hanging out with Dad then.
Of
Because
course.
the first time, they didn't, I can't wait till Mom get home. Yeah. But see, now, they couldn't wait till Saturday morning come. hang out with Dad. Yeah, say Dad take us out,
Say
show us something,
shopping
and
and
he buys our lunch.
Yeah.
See,
It's a treat. It's a
yeah,
treat.
see, then they grew up with that.
But you know what? That's
Build
a
a
key too.
relationship.
Yes,
Right.
that's so
Right.
key. That spending that quality time and having that quality time.
Very important.
It's so important
Very,
in the nurturing and upbuilding of the kids, and even just even to be honest, even as an example in your community, I find it that I find other parents paying attention to what I'm doing with their kids or they other
they
kids.
notice that, yeah.
You know, they watching me. I'm watching you, see what you doing with your kids. They watching me, seeing what I'm doing with their
Right,
kids.
right,
You know,
right.
but and to say all that, just like what you were saying, it's contagious.
Right.
It you know, when the community, you know, you're an example and they see you. It's like with the
Right.
play. We don't want to let each other down, and after a while, what I've learned is that. Even if you are the only one, after a while, somebody else is going to start picking up that same track. For example, let me say this: I'm out and I'm playing whatever with the kids. I done bought them a couple balls and I put them in my shed and I leave the shed unlocked so they can have access, so they have something to play with during the summertime. Well, I see my neighbor. And she's got a house full of girls, and before I know it, I'm like, oh my God, they outside playing soccer, and you know, and in my head, and I, you know, don't want to think of myself more highly than I am, but the reality is, you see me weeks and weeks and weeks out here with these kids, and yes, these kids need to get moving and grooving, and a light bulb hit, and you're out here doing it, and I'm ecstatic, and I'm ecstatic because I'm like, the kids are moving,
Right.
they're outside, they're playing.
Activities.
Right. Yeah, you don't see it.
Exactly.
Yes, I'm you know so happy. But we have power in doing that, which is another reason why we're here today. I every move that we make is in one way or another. Every power move, every positive move.
Positive.
Yes, every positive move in one way or another is affecting our community in a better way. And y'all decided to do this thing with the podcast because not only did God tell me to let the world in on my healing process, so that others can know and can see that it's a real process. Miss Charlotte, I'm like, you sure you want me to go on there today? You sure you want me to talk about this? You sure you want me to say this? But yes, because when we put our guards down and become vulnerable and realize, look, which is what I love about the play, about being in this play, that, hey, I'm the man in the mirror. I look just like you. I'm going through this thing too. You know, I'm dealing with what you're dealing with, you know, and vice versa, in the home, out the home. And I think you were about to say something, and you can say that, and then we'll transition into how has this thing how has the pandemic, how has COVID affected you and your household personally, or how has it changed your life? The real deal. Look, not the play. The real deal.
For me, you know, it's just, I realize that, you know, because see, you can't take life for granted because you just don't know from moment to moment. Now, the pandemic can get a hold of you, and you might last on a ventilator for a few days, you know, but I can go out here and go home and not make it.
Yeah.
So whatever it is, it doesn't matter because it's going to be what it's going to be. But then there's precautionary measures that you take in something like this because of the way it spreads and everything. You don't get the monkeypox. And see, this stuff has been there. It just come more out open because it's been around. We just haven't seen it. But then see, and you don't think about something until it affects you.
Right.
So it was over in another country. Okay, we don't know about the COVID. But then when the first, and if I'm not mistaken, I heard on the news a while back, the first COVID-related death came in November of 2019. 2019. That's it, because they shut down.
The end of 2019.
Around November. Now this the report that they said their first recorded death in the United States. So then that's when it started. And it was already over in other countries, wherever, you know. But then that's when they started looking at it more deeper. But knowing these things, and you know, we should have been more prepared. But see, because they always get them up, it's too late. We don't want to get to the too late.
No.
So if you, if you know, however you look at this, if you want to get vaccine, if you don't, that's on the individual, you know. And when it first come up, the vaccine, I said, I ain't taking this stuff. I don't know what's in, you know. And I was adamant on that, you know. But then I would tell her I had to go. Me and my wife had to go to my granddaughter's graduation out of high school out in Las Vegas. And the first thing I thought about was, if I can't contact this disease, I might take it to my grandkids or my children, you know. So that was convinced me, you know, to get vaccinated. That's just for me. Now, nobody else, however you decide to do this on you. But this is what I thought about, because my main goal is protecting the family. So what do I do to protect the family? Well, make sure I'm okay, so I won't get, and that's in any circumstance, situation, the monkeypox, whatever else you get, you know. So I just look at it that way. What can I do to make sure that the house is okay? You know, right here, you know, it's something I can do to make sure it's okay, and I'm supposed to do it. I'm supposed to, because God put it on your heart, and you don't do it, you're being disobedient.
Then you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Amen.
Thank
Thank God he didn't put it on my heart.
Yeah, he put this on your heart with your kids. He put this for your kids. You know.
Yes.
The sad note, you know, you lost a daughter.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, but you have a daughter. You know,
Yes.
you know. And you ask questions, why? Of course, that's just natural.
Yeah.
But then God said, I got some more for you. Yeah, I got some more daughters. I got some sons for you too.
Yes.
You know, I mean, and so they're gonna call him Mama to Leya. Mama to Leya. And that just blesses your spirit. You know, and that's what it's about. You just do what you're supposed to do, and do what you can for them. And I guarantee you, one day when you get 90 and you cross the street, they'll help you.
Amen.
I mean, I believe that. I believe that. You know?
One of them gonna come help.
Somebody, get Mama to Leya, come on, you know, don't get your bags. I just feel that way, you know, because if you're doing good, then good is going to come out of it. You know, it's going to come out of it. No matter what you're going through, some good will come out of it.
Right.
Peanut butter. How did this affect? How has the pandemic affected you so far? Have you caught this bad boy?
You know,
Excuse me.
I work in the hospital, and
Oh, boy.
and I'm like I said, I'm not in it, but every day I go in, and I've been blessed not to. It's never touched me, never affected me.
Amen.
The whole, you know what I mean? On this one, I got.
You got the blessed. You got the
I
angels over you.
he was like, hey, bruh, don't even
Keep doing what you're doing,
do
right?
what you do.
Okay.
Yeah, because, you know, I got, my mom was in the house for 2 years during the pandemic because she had just got here.
Yes.
Like literally a month before they like shut everything down. So
Yes.
for a single black man, live with his mama, love her, you know what I mean? But
Mom,
Walking around them
See
papers.
what happened was.
That's what she told it.
hey, but case I didn't know ovens were gray inside, so I was, you know, she cleaned my oven. I was like, hey, I didn't
know that.
I didn't know it was dirty.
Mom
You
was
know,
always cleaning. Yes,
that's
Mom was
just-
cleaning the bed.
when we say that's just seasoning.
Right.
I always thought it was seasoning in the oven. So
Mama said that you boy clean this stuff.
right, yeah.
But she's always mama.
So yeah.
Wherever you,
Man, shout out to your mama. I wish my mama come clean my oven. Even though shout out to my mama because she did just make
She just
brought me birthday dinner.
brought us some dinner. I mean,
He said,
I thought that she said birthday dinner for.
no. That's one of my other mothers would say, no sharing.
Oh.
We will not be sharing.
Oh well. Ramen noodles
Not
again
today,
in life.
brother. This for you, brother. No sharing. You know what? I'm a chime in. Then Pops, I want you to tell us your experience. But y'all, I had COVID twice, and I thank God that. Let me just say this: the second time I got it, the Holy Spirit told me that it was my turn; it was coming. And so I say that to say, because I was just talking to my cousin about it today. Shout out to Jason. That I didn't take that warning seriously. I didn't. I don't know what I was thinking. The first time I got it, I just had the cough. That's it. And when I say that's it, I had a cough, but I sounded like a Rottweiler dog.
Oh.
So, and it was at the very, very beginning, right before they shut down the country. And I told myself to quarantine myself. And I had a friend that, I have a friend that has a connection. His brother's in the military. And so they had been, I guess, circling talk about moringa and sea moss. And so when I was coughing like a dog and told him about it, he said, I'm going to bring you some moringa and sea moss. And y'all put half a teaspoon, because I stuck my finger in it and tasted the sea moss. And I was like, about to die. Like, what the? I thought I was about to go into convulsions. So I put a little teaspoon of each in my tea. And the next day, y'all, I literally stopped coughing. So I went bananas about it. Well, anyways, the second time around, I kept taking it, and maybe a year later, I got it again. And at this point, the Holy Spirit told me I was going to get it. And so I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I got this, bruh. I'm ready.
Wasn't ready.
What? Which strand was it? What? Listen, I felt like I said a baby elephant, and I feel like I'm being nice, but if you can visualize a baby elephant sitting on top of you, I was done. Okay, slept 3 days away.
Wow.
You know, and really, I was really sitting there thinking like, dang, man, like, you really might take me out like this. Like, I possibly actually really could die. Like, this is not a joke. It's not a, you know, it's not a joke.
No.
And it's not a game. And I was sitting there and I'm thinking like, thank God for your little baby herbs and oils. But even that, I'm like, if he was ready for you to go, you are done.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yes.
It doesn't. You can be the healthiest man. Go to the gym every day.
It's true.
Working out. I mean, in the tip top shape to go to the doctor, 100% healthy and everything, and drop.
And drop, yeah.
You know.
You never know what's going to come your way.
You never know. And see, now we know it's going to come, but we don't know when, where, how.
Yeah.
So all I look at is. Right here, right now, I want to do my best, be my best. Because I come on, the heart can give out right here, y'all. I'm just saying. So wherever I want to know, you know, you say, well, Richard was acting a fool and he had a heart attack, you know. Well, Richard was helping an old lady across the street and he had a heart attack. I mean, what would, you know, I'm not that it's for you to say this or that about me, but I'm just saying, I don't know. So I just want to try to do my best. And I ain't nobody's perfect.
No.
But when you're striving or persevering to do your best, you know, then you focus on that and you don't let let anything distract you, you know, because there's a lot of distractions around us, you know, that'll keep you in. And so what do? You I just persevere to do the best I can, and the outcome, you know, is going to be okay. And I tell my wife and children and everybody, say, I'm going to leave here one day, but I want you know, but you know, but the way I love and the way I've been loved, take me. You know, I mean, because that's what I'm dealing. I'm dealing with the love of the loved ones I have. It's nothing like hearing my granddaughters come, Papa. It's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. And my grandson called and said, well, Papa, how you doing? You know, come on. You know, I mean, kids ain't thinking about talking about, you know, you got $1 or something, but, you know, when they call and they say, I love you, Papa, or I love you, Dad, it's nothing better than that to me.
That's beautiful, yeah.
There's nothing better than that to me. You know,
See, now I'm jealous.
What you jealous of?
brother, okay, well,
Pops.
Okay.
get on your job, like.
I'm 58. That's ship is sale, bro.
You can always adopt.
Oh, wait, no, I got him on this.
You can help me with the
Oh, here we go.
nonprofit. Look, got a million
I
kids.
got him on this.
Help me.
Abraham.
Ooh.
What
Abraham.
Lincoln got to do with it?
What?
No.
Not Abraham Lincoln.
Sarah, find you a Sarah. Oh, you mess with the chick named... Oh, I ain't gonna do that.
You better not. You'll get us
I'm
fired.
get fired. No.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
No.
Talk about the Bible.
No
This is
reveals.
about-
Talk about
Yes.
the Bible.
Sarah in the Bible. She was old.
She was
older.
90 years old.
I would call her old.
Okay, leave it right there. Okay, let's stop, because I should have mentioned that name. I'm sorry. Yeah,
But yeah.
Abraham. Peanut butter Abraham.
Yeah, right.
Well, you know, I'm thinking you can always help me with the nonprofit, brother.
I am helping you with the nonprofit.
Say you are helping me.
You didn't, I just donated and you didn't even see it yet, did you?
See?
What you do?
For your birthday, you got that birthday wish, don't you?
It's,
No,
it's,
is it
more, it's
something-
more to the wish.
Is it fake news or what?
I need to pull. The bag is in the other room. All right, we'll come back to that. Did I miss something?
Huh? Yeah,
I missed
evidently. I'm
something.
gonna get my 20 back.
What? It's $20 in there. What? Let me go get my- Listen, I wouldn't have left the envelope in there. I knew it $20 in there.
Yeah, it is all blank.
No, it's on your
Well, I'm like this. When it's the color
it's
green,
on your Facebook.
my whole
Donate
mind
for
and
your
body and
birthday.
soul wakes up.
Oh,
It wakes
gotta
up
check.
Look at you.
green. It didn't say blue because money is green. My whole mind, body, and soul wakes up.
money's green when you see money.
I've already canceled it now, so don't thank
Too
you.
late. You said too late. Yeah,
It's
going out.
when it's green, your whole body, mind, soul wakes up.
Forget ramen noodles.
Yeah,
I'm going to
yeah,
leave,
yeah,
baby.
Yeah.
I'm chicken and
Your
beans
whole
and
body,
rice.
mind, and soul wakes up because it's green. Yeah.
Oh God! Look, so the money. Say green is it's my new favorite color, pops.
Yeah, right.
Look, cause I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I'm about to be burning up, melting in here. So I ain't gonna keep us too much longer. But pops, tell us how has the pandemic affected you?
Well, I first got the 2 shots,
Yeah,
and then I got the extra ones they talk about.
yeah.
But then I felt, well, I'll be all right. But then I go to give some blood down at the community blood center.
Yeah.
She said my resistance is low. She said I can't figure out what it is. So I go back to the doctor. He says your resistance is low. He said you're borderline for diabetes, but you're not diabetic. He says, what I'm going to do is give you some extra pills to build it back up. He said, at home you can take like a multivitamin to build it back up too. So I was doing both of them, okay, taking the pills, all that. And this is like 6 months before the virus hit me.
Yes.
This 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there, I mean, when I went to church that Sunday,
Yes.
that Monday morning when it hit me,
Yes.
I'm sitting at home, sitting there trying to eat breakfast. I couldn't even hardly breathe.
I forgot you had a recent hit. Yes.
I couldn't hardly breathe, so she called the doctor. So the doctor said, well, I'm not going to have him come in. The nurse said, just tell me how he's feeling. So she told him how I was feeling. So he said, well, okay, I'm going to send him for you to pick up a prescription Wednesday morning. You can pick it up down there at Grandview, you know that entrance
Yeah.
down there? She said, lady be waiting for you with your prescription. All you got to do is go down there and get it. He won't have to come to see me.
You don't want to get you.
But he was trying to figure out what medication to give me so it wouldn't affect my my liver.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So he gave me this prescription. Take 4 pills every 12 hours. I think I had about 26 of those pills. And I would take, and she said, take all of them till they're gone. And when they're gone, call the nurse back within 24 hours, 36 hours to say I feel. Was I going to feel much better? And I took those pills, and the whole time I was taking them, believe it or not, my head started getting real hot. It was getting hot before I got the prescription, but I said, how can I be hot taking these pills? She said, this is probably the way they're working. So like the 3rd day of taking them, I started feeling better. And then when I got down to 8, I started feeling a little better. And when I took the last 12, which was I think one day last week, that following morning I started feeling better. But the thing is, like you said earlier, you can be 100% healthy. Went to the doctor, got a clean bill of health, just like the doctor, like he was talking about the guy in the gym.
Yes.
And then this thing hits you like a a baseball bat.
Yes.
And then you wonder, well, how can I get this thing all over again after all these shots? The man upstairs has something to do with that
Yes.
because he's telling me something ain't right with your body for is right with your resistance.
Come on.
So it's something I got to do to build it back up beyond all this COVID stuff.
Yes.
And see, that's what we're forgetting. We can be in such good health, something could just knock you off your feet.
Yes.
You just don't know what hit you all of a sudden. And this virus that hit me this time, it could have been the COVID again. It could have been the monkeypox start trying to form. I don't know. But you have to still be on guard.
Yeah.
We're not safe as we think we are.
It's true.
Because even after all of these pills I was taking, could be something else coming our way.
It's true.
So the only thing we can do is just pray
It's true.
that it don't hit our body again.
Yeah.
We just don't know what's coming next.
Yeah.
All we can do is just pray.
We definitely have to stay spiritually guarded.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just
Definitely.
lucky because he told me at my age, he still don't know how I
You say you're lucky, huh?
survived with
Take you to the crap.
at my age with the 12 pills. Because most people my age, the pills wouldn't help them.
Yeah.
But some people just resistance is so low,
Yes.
they just can't pull out of stuff like I pulled out.
Yes.
Right.
Thank goodness you went to the doctor
Mm-hmm.
prior to, because I know a lot of people don't like going to the doctor.
Hey,
One of them.
I kind of am too, but
no, but see the thing is,
But see, here's the thing. Whenever no one likes going to the doctor.
no,
Just
I
face it.
agree with you.
Nobody, I don't think, now people go just for general checkup or
Yeah, I
anything.
think, yeah.
But
Yeah,
you don't like the doctor until you need a doctor.
Right.
So then she said, all right, I told the wife, I said, leave me alone. I said, if I pass out, then call him,
Right. Right.
And I told her, I said, now, if I pass out and I pass away on the floor, keep me in my car and roll me down to here. I ain't doing that. I said, you get more money. She said, okay. I said, you get about
I'm definitely still in that one.
you'll get more money.
I'm definitely still in that
I
one.
guess.
That was hilarious.
I told her, I said,
A guy-
you see, this, you see, even in the passing of a loved one, you know, or the thought of it,
yeah.
you still gotta find some laughter. And I'm just talking about dying and y'all laugh.
Yeah.
But no, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But you know,
Yeah.
that's what the reality of life is.
Yeah.
We're here.
Yes.
And we do the best we can.
You did
At all
right.
times, I always try to do the best you can.
Right.
And when you can't do your best, go home.
Right.
And work it out. What's going on? You know, I'm just saying. But when you
Yeah.
and when you know you're doing your best, then life ain't as hard.
Right. Right.
You know,
That's
you know
true.
you
Yeah.
really tried.
Yeah.
You said I was trying to do the right thing, you know, and we should get sidestepped. But
Right.
when you know you tried,
Yeah.
and you say you're back up, okay,
Right. Right.
regroup, try it
Right.
again. You know?
Right.
That's why. Okay, I'm gonna say that He gives us new mercies every day.
Yeah.
So that means yesterday, what I messed up yesterday, so
Right.
you know you shouldn't have done that.
Right.
So today, Richard,
Right.
you don't do that.
Right.
You know, I work on today,
Right.
and I ain't thinking about
Today.
tomorrow.
Not tomorrow, today.
I had an old guy. He told me, he said, here how it's 3 days. You know,
Right.
he said, yesterday is a canceled check.
Mm-hmm.
Today
Mm-hmm.
is cash.
It's cash.
Tomorrow is a promissory note.
Promise. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Yes.
It's a promise.
I read you loud and clear.
It's a note.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't cash that promissory note until tomorrow.
Right.
But then when you cash tomorrow, you'll be cashing cash.
Right.
Each day is cash. You know, yesterday
Right.
it's canceled check. You wrote that check and you cleared the bank. It's gone.
Right.
It's canceled.
Right.
You know.
Right.
And right now you're dealing with cash. You know?
Right.
You know, now you got all these cards and everything. But I'm just saying. But then tomorrow, you know, it's a promissory note, but that
Right.
means you're going to cash in on it.
Right.
So
Right.
deal with the cash today.
Right.
Deal with, you know,
Right.
work with that. You know. Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's okay. He told me that, and he told me in 3 weeks. I forgot it, and I said, "Hey man, what was that again?" Give me the three, you know, the 3 days. And, and I hold on to that because I know I'm just living it right now.
Cancel
I mean,
check, cash money, promissory
Yeah,
note.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I
But
like
and
that.
right now I'm living in the this is I'm like this
That's
is
good. I'm
for me.
liking that.
You know, I'm sitting around people that I've met, that I've been knowing, and I've met, you know, and we can laugh and talk about every topic and subject, you know,
Right.
from life to death and everything in between.
Right.
And that's what, you know, and the children and what they need, everything.
Yes.
That's important.
Yes.
You know, and he gives us ideas. You know, I get ideas from you, from King, but you know, I'm becoming a better comedian. You know, you know, the wisdom. You know,
Yeah. Let me say
You
this.
aspiring comedian. Go ahead, Pops.
what was mom?
When I first told my family about the play,
Yeah.
my daughter said, "You can't act." You know what I told her? I said, "I don't know if I can or not, but I'm gonna try it." And you
That's
know,
right.
and you know what?
You can act, Pop.
Now that it's coming, where it's getting closer for her,
Yeah.
now she said, "I can't wait to see it. I can't wait. How many days we got?" Yeah. She's excited more than I am.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
And I said to myself, since she said that, I'm gonna step up my game now.
Yes.
There you go.
I'm really gonna get into it now. Since she said that, yeah.
Can't let him down.
Yeah,
No more
right.
half-stepping,
I'm
right?
really gonna make them eat a little crow.
Yeah. You know, I think for all of us, I know for
Yeah.
me,
Right.
I feel the same way. I
Yeah.
gave my daughter,
Yeah.
my daughter has the number 1 and number 2 VIP tickets. So I don't know how I lucked up on that, but y'all know me, I'm speedy. I'm like, let me get my
Yeah,
tickets.
right, yeah.
So that was a long time ago. So
Yeah.
she's got the first 2. I'm like, shut the front door. So I feel like you. I'm like, the pressure is on. My daughter's gonna be right there.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
I gotta
Yeah.
make it happen, Kevin.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, so I'm bringing it
Yeah.
all. But I love that too because you know, it's going back to being that example.
Yeah.
And my daughter has actually had some performances in the past recently, and she calls me and has sent me performances of her friends and things, and wants me to critique and stuff. And now I'm like, I'm the one that's going to be on the block.
You gonna be
But
critiqued.
yes, but I love it. I'm asking, okay, what's your advice, and you know, things like that. But it's good to step outside the box, do things different that we didn't know we could do, you know, and even if
try
it's
it.
you know, like for you, Keith, I know you don't have kids, but there are kids, and younger folks around you that yes,
Where?
there is.
You know,
See, I never know. I never know what you mean the comic or what. I gotta pay attention, but yes.
He's always
that
looking
are
for material. He's always looking for material.
Yes.
Always looking for material.
See, he's always on point.
Always looking for material.
you know,
That are influenced, yes. by your
well, I was
example.
thinking about him doing
Yeah.
the comedy.
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's gonna go on the road one day, or he's gonna get a call and say, "I want you to be with so and so on this comedy thing, like somebody big
Amen.
that's into comedy," and he's gonna like come out and start
Yes.
the
Over the neck.
yeah, like the opening act.
Yes.
Wouldn't that be beautiful for him? That could happen. That's why if he keeps doing this, I'm thinking it's
Come
gonna
on,
happen.
Pops. I'm with you. Give me 5 on that. I'm tapping in. Look,
Yeah.
that one. Yes, we receive it for you, Peter Butter.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah,
Peter.
that could
Peter
happen
Butter.
overnight. Yeah,
I know, and then we'll be like, we knew
I know him.
we was in a play
I
with
know
you.
him.
yeah, yeah.
See, I got look. I'm gonna say, see, you right here, you right here.
Yeah, we was doing comedy with him. Yeah, yeah,
Right, like don't forget about the small people, bro.
I
yeah.
just want to
When
take
you
you to your
blow
big
up.
show. That's
Yeah,
all.
yeah.
Were you putting kids in my life? What are you saying?
Well, I was saying that even you just your example, you doing the comedy, doing the acting, doing what you do, still working. Just your example and being the person that you are is still a great example to the kids that are in your life and the young adults that are in your life, the people, including me. Because I'm like, dang, you doing it, then you go straight to the show, then you, and I'm like. You got to study for that. You know, people don't realize you want to be a comedian. You got to put time and
Okay.
Write his
energy.
material.
Yeah, you got-
You got to.
And then you got to go over it to remember it because he can't take it. We can't take the script on stage. He
Right.
can't take his.
Come on.
You know, I'm
Especially
just
if you want to
saying.
be good.
Yeah, I mean, but
Right.
no, I ain't gonna say no, but for a guy that has a funny sense of humor, it comes a little bit easier because he can look at me and say and make a joke, and make people crack up. You know, he can see something I do or something. You know, plus he's always looking for material.
Right.
He's saying, well, you know, I mean, but now it ain't easy.
No, it ain't.
Well, we talked about that because she was bringing up her cue cards, and just talking to Pop Green about maybe getting him on it. And my thing in comedy is, and you can take a cue card up there and set them on the little stand so you can like peek down every now and then. You know, people don't know, but it's a crutch.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? So people aren't comfortable when they go up there. So for me, being a comic, I never did that.
Yeah.
Just for that reason, I didn't want it to be a crutch for me to even have it in my pocket as a backup because I would go for it right away. You know what I mean?
Right.
I know my set, I know what I'm gonna do, but now I'm at that level to where I can riff and jump in on different
and you can improvise.
actions.
You got
Right. But if you got that, but if you've got that card up there with your notes, you're gonna stick right on it. You know what I mean? So you're gonna miss the best part of doing comedy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's got to come from here.
That's good. That's
It's
good.
a natural point that brings on a natural laugh.
I mean, your stuff's funny, but if somebody says something and you bring it to another level of laughter,
That's it.
Right.
You got the audience.
even for the person that you said, you know what I mean? Even they're like, oh my
God, delivery
you know
and
what I mean?
everything,
You're
right?
genius. You know what I mean? And it just feels, and that came from you, from the heart, like you said, and there's just nothing like it. So that cue card it's good to start it, but don't depend on it. You know what I mean? Use it and then move it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you can start learning and becoming the person.
And so, how I would round that up for the kids would be to master your gift.
Yeah.
Take the time to master, to invest in it, and to master your gift. You know?
Because if you're comfortable with it, then it's going to show when you go and.
Yeah.
But if you got doubt, they always say if you're going to say it, you got to mean it. Be it good or be it bad or whatever the punchline or whatever it is.
Right.
If you say it, you got to mean it, or the person that you're saying it to or speaking about or whatever, it's not going to work.
Have the full effect.
Don't say it. You know, like I don't use the N-word on stage at all. I slipped and said it. You would have thought I was white. Because it shocked me, and I slipped in it. You know,
slipped it,
when a Freudian slips, I think they call it. And the expression, even my friends in the back row noticed.
You never said it.
How pale I got.
They noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Threw you for a loop a little bit.
Oops.
You gonna throw him a loop?
You know,
And so, you know what I mean, if you just got to be confident in yourself and do what you feel and not try to be like somebody else just because they doing this type of thing. That doesn't mean you know what I mean.
You
make
have to
your
do what
show.
works
Right.
for you.
Right. You know, because see, you can think what you want to think,
Right.
and you can say what you want to say, but what you do is the truth.
Right. Yeah.
Bottom line. But they have these thoughts, and we'll say it, but do you do it? You know, I want to get this good education. You have the thoughts of getting a good education. You know, you say I'm gonna go to school. You know, but it's in the doing. You know, it's in the doing. It's all about the doing because no matter where you are, you know, you have to make a decision to step with the kids. At some point in time in their life, as they get older, they got to make a decision to go the right way or the wrong way. And so we're trying to set them a path for the right way. You know, right way, so they get them on the path. You know, so they know that. Well, Mama, she can say, I can't go here. I can't go left. I can't go right. I got to go straight. You know, and that's what we want to know.
And that's up to them.
It's up to them. Bottom line is, when the child sees you growing, see the parents is growing and progressive. I mean, and going forward and everything. They pick those traits up.
Yeah.
And they're you know, and chances are they'll take that same route or even go to a higher level. But see, the parent got to show that example.
Right. To begin.
That's where it starts. They got to see.
Right.
Prime example.
Yes.
You've been educated all over the world.
She's
Okay. No, I'm from
Yeah,
the credentials. And look at your daughters.
she's a good example, right?
Yes.
And their father, how you know, I'm just saying.
Yes.
But they look at them, oh, mom, dad, they smart.
No.
Can't get nothing over on them. They
Be
too
just like
smart.
mom.
You know, I
Get
mean,
money
that's
for you, right.
that's what they grew up.
Right.
You know, now the other kids are sitting around where the child is growing up and the mother is drunk and high.
Right.
So when the door's wide open, he walk out to the lake and drown. You know,
And drown.
that's what they see. But she don't care. She knocked out. And I'm gonna walk out here, 2 years old,
Yeah, right.
go to the lake. You know, I'm just saying.
Yeah, but you know, but then you've got this young lady over here that's
Exactly.
guiding him.
Mm-hmm.
So even though his mom is here, he's here seeing this,
Right.
this.
And that's
He might like, maybe I'll just stay over here. And,
right.
He's gonna invest.
You know, he's gonna take care of his mom and do what he can do. But
Right.
but right now, but he's gonna build himself up.
Exactly.
So he can bring her up.
And see,
Example
you
that
every
he,
day.
that example that he
you
knows.
every
You know what I
day.
mean? Because just because you're in that circle of this, don't mean that you're gonna stay in that circle if you've got other things outside.
Surrounding you,
know what I
surrounding
mean?
you, right? Pulling
Right.
you away. Right.
So
That's good because like you were saying earlier, that they had to make that decision. You know?
Right.
That's what it comes down to. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
yeah.
gonna see the positive and the negative. So you know,
Right.
and you're in the middle right now. So the positive on the right and the negative on the left. Which way you going to go? That's the parents' fear with their children, you know, and which way are they going to go? Because they see the good stuff at home and the bad stuff in the streets.
Right.
You know, what are they going to choose?
yeah, I mean, I grew up in the projects, right over here, Soda Bass, and
Right.
and I seen the shootings.
You
and
grew
the-
up in the hood. I would have
Grew up
never
in
guessed
the-
you grew up in the
exactly.
hood.
And hang over,
Exactly.
Arlington Court,
Exactly.
Soda Bass,
That's my exact
Parkside.
point.
Are you serious?
Right there, single mother projects. No,
Listen,
you
shout
know,
out to
two
your
pair of
mama,
shoes.
And check this out.
Yeah.
Check this out. Here's the thing about
She
it.
had to iron fit.
Seriously.
And check this out. Now, when you said it, because in the projects you go to one house and there's roaches in all over the floor.
Yeah, roaches.
Yeah,
You go next door, it's pick and span clean.
Right.
Yeah, still roaches like clean too, though.
Yeah, but they
You know
don't
what I mean?
but they don't travel that much because ain't too much stuff on the floor.
No.
Yeah,
They
they
gonna say
gonna go eat over
let's go
here,
to
but
Rich
they
house and
don't
get the crumbs on the cornbread
Right.
on the floor.
And they don't.
They say
they don't
over
wash
here,
the dishes.
over here they said man they didn't mop the floor with
They
Mr.
didn't wash
Clean.
the dishes that
Right.
But I'm
They
just
wash the
saying,
dishes
but
properly.
it
They smell
boils
food
down to a choice.
they didn't put in the garbage.
Yeah. I mean, people, you know, so there's choices.
But back then, in the project, in the Soda Bass, and in Parkside,
Yeah,
and
right,
all
all
the
that,
other
yeah.
I
ones,
remember them days. Yeah.
like you, we grew up with other mothers.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There
So
was,
true.
so they looked out
They're looking out for
for
the
For us, they did.
You know what I
That's
mean?
why they say the community, you know, take
and the boys club. You know what I mean?
You gotta
So,
get home. It's getting dark.
so that's what I was saying about her.
By 6 o'clock, you're home.
No, the street lights,
Oh, no.
the street lights don't come on.
Right.
Red light, green light, right in front of that
Right,
little
right,
walkway.
right.
Yeah.
And then she
You know.
said she didn't even have to open the door. She just
Right.
said,
My-
I will use this in my bed
Home at 6.
about doing stuff on the porch and
One-
whatever
1 minute after.
that she didn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And all she had to do is go to the door, and we turn around and see whatever look she had on her face,
Right.
Right.
and we instantly stopped
You
doing
knew.
what we were doing because she
You
didn't
knew.
have to say nothing. Then she just go back in.
You know,
We knew.
we-
And that's how I grew up.
Right.
You know what I mean? But people like you, they get amazed.
Right.
I don't know if
We were
my
raised,
talk
man,
or whatever, but
we would be,
it's
we would be 5 or 10
Yeah.
blocks from right from home. We were out playing basketball, and my mother, when we was younger, she would always whistle for us. She could do it, whistle, and we could hear it. But we'd be far away, you know. And from my friends, say, "Hey man, your mama whistling for you." Oh yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And we come running, you know. But that's just the neighbor and the way she was. And everybody
Right.
knew my mom, and they loved her. So they would say, "Man, you been going for you to whoop," and they was helping us out because my mom wasn't a joke.
No.
Like you say, look, your mom give you a look like, you
Yeah,
know,
right.
Yes, ma'am. You know, she didn't have to say that.
No.
You just straight up because she know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
One time my mother slapped me so fast I didn't realize it. It took me a minute for my brain to catch up with my nerves.
There's another one. I'm gonna need a pen.
My brain said,
You need to know
"Son, just happened.
Tag, man.
My brain said, something just happened. She said, pop. The brain said, oh, something happened. Something wrong. What's wrong? Does not compute. Does not compute. It said, something happened. And then the nurse said, hold on.
It's coming in now.
It's coming now.
What happened?
You been slapped, fool. Oh! I tell you, man, I got it. I'm not making this up, y'all. This is not. This is. I was supposed to watch the woodwork, and I did too, but I did too fast trying to get out. And she came and pop. That's quick. She said, "Did you watch?" I said, "Yes, my mom watched. I watched my mom. Yeah, mama's baby, you know." She said, "Well, let me see something." Before I knew, she had slapped me.
Ooh.
I didn't know, and I'm saying that instant happened. My brain said, "I don't know." I'm really.
So I had to catch up.
Yeah, the nurse said, "Hold on."
I love it. I love it.
When the
So
nerve
I had
kicked
to catch
in,
up.
I mean, and to this day, I never forget this. I know I can look at my picture where she was standing right there in the kitchen about the refrigerator and everything. I got it in my head, man. But the nerve told me you get slapped, boo. And I never did it again, man. I watched that woodwork real. I mean, it was speaking Spain clean, you know. But that's the training, you know, that we get from home that you transcend to the kids.
Yes.
The training you get, see what you're trained up to do, then you're going to teach that to the next person to come up under you.
Yes.
So when you're training to do something right, then you know,
Yes.
and that's what you want for the kids. You want to do right by them because that's giving them the training. You know, I need to do right to Mr. Lady, Mr. Lady. She likes it. She does right.
Yes. And they know that
You
for
care.
example, my kid, and they know I'm watching them.
Right.
You know, some things that you guys have said have made me sit back and think, and I'm like, you know, I do have a kid that comes every day that I come home. He comes.
Yeah.
And speaks to me. And I didn't know that he would see me coming and run and ask his mom for permission to come and speak to me. And she said yes. And the only reason why I found out is because recently he said, "Mom, Miss Talea's home. Can I go see Miss Talea?"
Right.
And she said, "Yeah, and tell her I need to talk to her." And so when he came and gave me my hug like he normally does, and he said, "My mom wants to see you," and I'm thinking, "Oh Lord, what I do?" Because I'm thinking, what I say?
Right.
Oh Lord, I done fuss somebody's kid out. I'm thinking,
Here come the drama.
right? I'm like,
right.
did I do it? I'm like, because I might have did it. Because they're my kids, and I fuss at them too, and all that good stuff. But the parents know me, and I went down there, and she had two, I'm talking about two big old bags. When you bag the bag with the bag, two big old bags full of donations of food and things. And she said, "I know you help the community and, you know, and all of that good stuff." And so she said, "I knew you would find a home for these to go to."
need.
Yes, find a
Someone
need.
in need.
And it just, you know, I really had to slap myself because mental health is real. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, it took me about 30 minutes to go down there
Process.
because of my personal,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, because of my issues. And I'm like, and then to go down there and she got 2 bags full of stuff,
Yes.
Right.
you know, and it just really blessed me. And that's how I found out that he had asked for permission to come down and see me. And it just, it's humbling,
Right.
but it's days like those
It's
that
encouraging too.
yeah, it's very encouraging, and that's what I want to get to. That, you know, days like when you don't feel like doing what it is that you do, what you're great at, or what you're called to do, or your purpose at doing. Definitely have my days, and but it's days like those that
Encouraging.
yeah, to keep going.
keep going.
And I'm like, and they haven't seen me. I ain't dropped off no food boxes in months, you know. But the fact that when I did do it, it still made an effect, and it still is making an effect. And I'm thinking, and let me just say this, and then I'm done off of me, and we coming to Grandma. But one other moment that I had, I'm in the house, and few of the kids are walking by my house. And one of them I hadn't seen in a long time, and he said, "You remember that lady's house? She threw us the one party that, you know," and they're just talking, and I'm listening to them talking. I'm like, you know what? It was motivating and encouraging to say, yeah, we got to do that again. We got to have another event. We have to have a, you know, just to think that, okay, it was a year or so ago, but just the excitement to hearing his voice, and just, you know, just that he'll never forget that. And my prayer is that one day these kids will grow up and they'll be the neighborhood auntie or uncle, or yes, and they will pay it forward. Going back to what you were talking about with the Boys and Girls Club, and I really wanted to go there, and I'm like, Talea, you can't go there. We'll really be here till 9 o'clock. Yes, we will save it. And all I was going to say is that, where are all the people that care?
They're
You know,
there.
Scared.
They're scared.
They're there But with society the way it is, it makes people migrate because times are dangerous.
Right. Not my problem. Not
That's
my,
it.
Right, and you just don't know who's who and what's what.
Right.
And you don't know what that child had picked up from home.
Right.
That's what makes it you so lyric to me. I'm thinking that's what makes you, but because you want to reach out, but then you don't want to get stretched out.
Yeah.
You know, I'm with you.
But let me tell you.
Yes.
At times you get stretched out, but don't stop reaching out.
Right.
And it's the way you go about doing it, to where you don't stress yourself or stretch yourself out. And you have to be prepared for the positive and the negative. Because you're always having positive actions. You never prepare for the negative. And when the negative comes, it just throws you for a loop.
Right.
And you want to drop the ball and give up and go.
Right.
But that's not. That's when you need to dig down deep and say, I got to see it through. Because just cause one person then can act the way they should have don't mean the next one, because the next one might be the one that you really need to touch.
Right.
That's looking for that touch,
Yeah.
and that would help them. You never know. So you can't get, you get tired, but you can't give up.
Yeah, for sure. I say bologna sandwiches and hogwashes to those that, well, let me back it up, because I have a different bias and a different makeup. It makes me think of the scripture that says many are called but few are chosen. And I say that because I understand the fear is a real thing. The fear of being in these situations and examples. For example, being the neighborhood auntie don't always be going with the good stuff. Sometimes you got to deal with the ugly stuff. And one day, one of the ugly things was that I had about 30 teenagers literally out in the community where I live about to fight each other. To the point where I'm yelling before they get started to let them know, y'all better not, because I'm that neighborhood auntie. I will call the popo on you. We're not doing this today. Like, it's way too many of y'all here. I see one tuck a little something, so I'm and I'm with you. I'm like, no, we're not doing this. Not on my watch. Not today. Not in my community. Well, them kids ain't thinking nothing about me huffing and puffing.
No, they're not. No.
Y'all, they wasn't paying me no attention. I'm thinking I'm warning them. I'm about to call the police. Okay, I'm thinking, okay, they gonna get scared or
And run away.
They ain't scared of police.
what? To the point where I literally had to physically go over there and help break up the fight, because otherwise some of these kids would have been really, really, really hurt.
Right.
It was about 4. By the time I got over there, it was literally, I broke up. It was 4 girls on one girl, stomping her head in. Not to mention the other, and it's a whole nother group of kids over here fighting. And I'm like, but in my mind, fear came up, and I'm like, you don't know if these kids got a gun. One of these kids might stab you. And let me tell y'all something. A couple of them kids didn't know I was the neighborhood auntie, and they didn't care. Okay?
No, they didn't care.
Well, thank you. They did not care, okay? But I stood my ground, and I actually remember watching other adults in my community watching the kids. And I'm watching them like, y'all really watching? So y'all gonna watch me watch them?
Yeah, they're supposed to be helping you to break it up.
But, going back to that, some of us are called, because if I were to say I'm in my complete and total right mind, I might have thought about that a couple more times. Might have played that tape through just a little bit. I do have a kid.
So you go running when there's a bunch of kids, but when the lady want to talk to you, it take you an hour to decide to go over there and get some free food.
Listen, no food. Like, y'all should know I'm always coming when it's free food involved. But yeah, it just it made me think that some of us, are really called to live a prostrate life, or when it comes to certain things. And for me, it just so happens to be the kids. So y'all remind me of that if y'all don't see me doing nothing for my kids. Okay, if you ain't heard nothing, if you listen, what you doing? Where you doing it at? Because, and I say that because we can get caught up. Me personally, I have had, had my times where I get caught up. Yeah, but my car is jacked up. Yeah, but my refrigerator empty. And a lot of the times that I was helping these kids, it was. But what I realized is that it's a part of life and love.
Oh, yeah.
My message
Yeah.
now is love and light, spreading it. And it's like, you know what? Who cares what you're going through? You sing this light comedy. When I'm helping these kids, I completely forget about my problems. I forget I have all of these issues. Yes, yes. And their love is so healing. You know, that little boy running up to my house every day, y'all don't have a clue what that does for me.
Joy,
you know?
it's joy.
Literally, when I get home today, I know he is going to meet me there.
Right.
He's gonna meet me there, and I love it. But you know, I really do feel like as well too that all of us have some kind of part that we have to play in our community, and Miss Charlotte, and I really shutting up and then passing you to because I do want to know how the pandemic affected you, but. You said something to me that changed my mindset, and it probably wasn't big to you, but you said I got into community theater, and I was like, I never thought of it that way. That is, I mean, probably not profound, but really just the fact that this is your service to your community. And maybe I don't know if you looked at it like that, but that's how I look at it. At this point, you're still doing it, especially with all the drama and dilemma that it comes with. Now that I know, I'm like, oh, but yeah, reason, yeah, say yeah, back me up.
Yeah.
You have a reasonable service, yes. And this is your gift. This is, in my opinion, this is one of your gifts that you're giving back to us.
Yeah.
And I'm
I don't
going
really
from
think
it.
of it as service. It's just what I love to do.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Love it. Well,
Beautiful.
tell us, how did the pandemic affect you or your family?
Well, I live alone.
Yes.
I'm a widow. I'm retired. Most of my family is east. I
Yes.
do have from my my second husband, his sisters and brother are family are still in the Dayton area,
Okay.
and so I have them. But I live alone, and I'm a direction follower. So
Okay.
anything my doctor tells me I need to do, it's time for me to get this, time for me to get that, I do that. I go to the doctor regularly, go to the dentist regularly,
Yeah.
go to the I already did the demo. Well, everything. The eye doctor, I do. And when it said, when they mentioned the vaccine, I got them as soon. And plus, I was in that age range that we're
Right.
what did they call us? The
The vulnerable. We'll say the vulnerable population.
so I got my vaccines right away. The first one, the second one, and the same with the boosters. The first one and the second one. And I wear my mask,
Yes, you
and
do.
I, so I try to, to
Yes.
do what's healthy. Now, what I'm really thankful for is that, my women friends.
Yes.
I have my college friends, and we had to, we go somewhere now every year. Well, we had to cancel.
Right.
I think we only canceled 1 year, but what we started doing when we canceled that year is Zoom meetings. So we started reading a book, and so we're still doing our Zoom meetings, but we resumed our yearly trips, and
Beautiful.
and now in addition to our yearly trips, we're celebrating when each of us turns 75. So that's really great. And then when my husband passed, my Dayton, we call it the Dayton Posse.
Yeah.
I knew these women, but I wasn't really doing things with them. Well, now I'm doing things with them.
Wow.
So the pandemic slowed things down a while, but we still stayed connected. And then there were so many different Zoom meetings and Zoom gatherings. So my social life was able to continue. And so I would get tested, and now I have home tests, and I just try to do what it makes sense to do, and to stay healthy and continue moving. So when I go to the Y and do classes, particularly yoga classes, but when the Y even closed for a while, I started doing the Silver Sneakers classes on my computer. And I do my little workouts in my kitchen. So staying busy and staying healthy, and as in the play, stay safe.
Yes.
and stay put. So
Amen. That's something we have in common because you do yoga, and I do yoga.
yeah, I want to
Yes.
talk about DC
Yeah.
too, and
Say
where
that.
you were and what you did when
See.
you. How long were you there?
See,
and-
what had happened was not long at all. I'm from Xenia, by the way of DC. So I was born in DC, but I was raised in Xenia. Yeah. So yeah, if I say DC and don't add the Xenia part, my family will be like, "Girl."
Oh, you can you right up 10 minutes from Dayton.
Yes. So
That's what
yeah,
it was.
but we'll definitely come back to that too. But yeah, just something that we share. So y'all, I just want to hear from you. Maybe your last words. What do you have, if anything more, in particular, for the children, or if you want to bless a sister or drop a bar on me. I don't know. You got past lives. You might rap. I don't know.
What's that?
You drop a bar.
What's the bar?
A,
Go.
a rap like hi, my name
I don't
is T
know.
and I'm the best
No,
on
no.
these.
My name is Richard Lee Davis.
Well, in other words, we're gonna wrap it up.
I love it. I love Papa.
That's your nickname. That's your name for your grandkids.
Papa.
Pop. Okay.
Papa.
Okay.
And like I said, I have other my children and grandchildren friends. You know, I love it when they, and they're very mannerable and yes sir, no sir. I'm like, but growing up, so I love that. I mean,
Same manners.
the children, my children and grandchildren, that's my life, Not my wife, I mean, we good. I'm just saying, but see, when they come around, man, I just perk up, My granddaughter, she's staying with us. She said, Papa, I'm going to cook you some breakfast today.
Ooh, nice.
That's what I'm talking about. And it's good. She can cook.
Beautiful.
And it was good. I'm just saying, I'm just stuff like that. It just, and she cleans the kitchen up perfect. There's nothing on. And she's my poo-poo.
That's your baby.
That's
She's
poo-poo.
spoiled.
She's poo-poo. Well, all of them got nicknames.
Okay.
And all of them got, and every child and every grandchild, I've changed their diaper when it was messy. So it's real messy. So I said, when you get older, you can't talk that mess to me.
Okay, say
I
that.
tell her, but that, that's, I'm just enjoying the life that I've been given, making it through all the stuff that I've.
Amen. That you
Real
been
quick note.
Yes.
Something with suicides.
Yes.
We can talk about it later.
Yes.
But I was shot twice before I reached the age of 20. Are you ready?
Oh wow. Which is so crazy because I was actually about to tell you definitely got to come back because we ain't got into half of your story testimony, nothing. So look, and you kind of talked about your lesson earlier on that note that you were going to tell the kids, which was to
that surely because going through life, the things I've learned, and everything. And I don't have a problem telling my secrets. Those are not secrets anymore.
Yes.
That's my testimony. That's what to let them know, what to try to avoid these things because they're going to come up against it.
Yeah.
Just like I was telling about my son. I tell him, you're going to come up against these friends that want to do something that's right. And so I was grilling him, because I didn't want him to go to jail or get killed or something like that. And they say I popped on him. So yeah, I don't have no skeletons in my closet. You want to know something, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And I told my son, so I'm telling you this thing too. I said, because he said, Dad, why you tell me all this stuff? I said, because you're gonna meet a friend, and he's gonna, and his father's gonna know me.
That's
And he
good.
said, well, what's Raymond's dad? His name is Richard Davis.
That's good.
I'm just saying, so he won't be embarrassed because see, kids will do stuff to hurt you.
Yeah.
If they can say something about your parents or something like that, and talk about your mom or something, they'll hurt you. That's what kids.
Yeah.
But I let my life be open because it can help somebody not make those mistakes. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Not make mistakes that I made.
Amen.
And that's when I would tell the kids, you want to know something, ask me. I'm going to tell you the bottom line truth. I have to. Because if I lie to you, I'm lying to myself like it didn't happen. So I just let them know what it is and, come back and we can talk about something. I don't have a problem with it at all, y'all. I mean, I got some in-depth stuff. Usually we can get time.
So, we coming back after these messages. We'll schedule you right after these messages. Pop, what's your lesson or your last words for the kids?
Or you drop a beat.
Or your rap, or your blessing.
Well, to kids this day and age,
Yes.
I would tell them their education is more important because it gives you an opportunity to get a job, whether it be part-time or full-time, and then you have an opportunity to go to college. If you can't go to college, go to a vocational school, like electrician or bricklayer.
Learn a trade.
Learn a trade. If you don't feel your grades is up enough to go to 4-year college, and you can still become professional with vocational training.
Yes.
And this thing about college is not in every kid's blessing because of their grades is not good enough.
Yes.
So that shouldn't be a hindrance to him that he can't make something out of himself. You can always make something out of yourself.
Yes.
You can go vocational training, and once you graduate out of high school, you're really on your own, and once you graduate out of high school, it's almost like you won't even see your friends no more that you graduated with, because they're going north, east, south, and west. Yeah, I told my daughter the same thing. I said, you're not going to see all these girls you hung out with in high school. She only saw one that she hung out with after all those 4 years of high school. Only one comes by the house. And that's I told her that was going to happen. She didn't believe me.
It's his
But
life.
the key to life is your education, like he was talking about earlier.
Yes.
And once you get that high school degree, your life is just beginning. And you're going to have to keep going forward. You can't look back.
Yes.
You're going to have to go forward and try to make something out of yourself, because God's giving you that opportunity.
Yes.
And you didn't fall through the cracks hanging out with the wrong people,
Well,
because you proved to your family and yourself
yes.
that you can make something out of yourself. You didn't fall through the cracks, like hanging out with the wrong people to get in jail.
Yes.
And that's important, because hanging out with the wrong people to get in jail, that could destroy your life right there.
Sure can.
Yeah,
Sure
like he
will.
just said earlier about being in the car with somebody.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we're going to get some money out of the bank. You can't let that happen to you.
Right.
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 No, and your life is just beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the key to life.
Amen.
Yeah, as study hard, try and graduate out of high school.
Do your best.
Do your best.
Yes.
And don't look back.
Amen.
And you can't let nobody tell you you can't become an actor, you can't become a bricklayer,
on.
you can't become like, that's not true.
Come on.
Because there's classes that's going to teach you how to do that.
Yes.
There's no magic wand. All you have to do is just go say, I want to learn how to do this.
Yes, I love
He's one of these
that.
three. That's it.
Yeah.
I love that. There's no magic wand.
Yeah.
That's
You
heavy
just have to
pop.
go and do it.
There's no magic wand.
It's got to be right here.
Pops, we put that on a t-shirt. There is no magic wand.
No,
okay?
it's not. No, it ain't. No, it
Pops,
ain't.
because they had us out here thinking it was a magic wand. out
No.
here. And it's not.
No.
Especially the church, but that's a whole nother story. We'll
Yeah.
come back to that later. Ain't no
No.
magic wands, okay?
No.
Listen, you whistle while you work, or your ass gonna be real hungry.
You know, when I come back,
Seriously.
I got something to say. It's,
Yeah, say when you come back, Pops. Give me some on that one. Give me some.
You're gonna love it, because one of what he said earlier about what he was gonna do,
Yeah.
together, and I was thinking about it too.
Amen.
Yeah, it's
Say-
gonna
get
it's
your
gonna down on him each one of them said.
Y'all get your notes ready for when you come back.
Yeah,
I love
okay,
it. I'm
okay.
excited.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
Mine's recorded.
It's in
Yeah.
your head.
Yeah.
Now you take some notes, because I feel like you got a lot to tell us. You might have
It's
to do a couple
recorded.
shows.
As
Yeah.
long as I don't get Alzheimer's, you'll get it.
Say it's in there. It's in there.
Well, it's been wonderful just getting to know you all through this
Yes.
conversation.
Mhm.
It's been really nice. I feel
That's,
like
I'm
I
so
know
grateful.
You better.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm
You
like,
know,
we
the
can.
things that you're doing with kids,
Thank
Yes.
that's
Yes.
wonderful.
Thank you. I gotta show y'all one day. I said I'm gonna put a presentation together because I'm like, nobody knows unless you're on social media, but you don't see these kids that I'm talking about. But I love them. And Miss Charlotte, I want you to know this. These kids saved my life. One of the other reasons why I started this podcast is because I was suicidal. The first time that I attempted suicide, I was 11 years old. And the last time I thought about it, I was 36, and you guys know I'm turning 38 today. And I if I'm honest with you, I hate to say that it was the last time I had a thought about it was 36. And the reality is, and when I think about that, I remember saying to myself, is this a lifetime battle for me? And I hate to say that. And even in just what we would normally say is a harmless thought, like, man, I really don't want to be here. You can get so comfortable with saying things like that and not really realizing how internally damaging and how I said I wasn't going to do it. How it really, really can, how you're really hurting yourself by continuing to even ponder on those thoughts.
Right.
And immediately I had to tell myself, like, hey, are we having that thought? We're not having that thought. I don't think it's that serious. I don't think it. Going back to the play, not saying nothing.
No.
But yeah, I had to tell myself, hey, I don't think we're gonna go there. I think we're gonna snap right out of that thought real quick. But the reality is, even if it was 10 seconds, even if it was 5 seconds, for me, it's I don't want to say it's a daily battle, but it is. And so that's why I'm doing my yoga. That's why I'm going to the gym. I had a rough night a couple nights ago, and I'm like, nobody loves me. I was having what I call them birthday blues, and I'm like, really, are we going to do this every year? But I had my half a day of birthday blues because I'm 38 years old. What's the world say? You should be married and this and that, and then I'm like, I should be traveling the world.
Right.
Yes, but go ahead.
The question is, I have a question for you. Can you imagine what it feels like not to breathe?
Listen, no, and that's why I snapped the hell out of it real quick.
That's why the bottom line.
Period.
You know, when you think about
No, I need to write that down.
What you do, what you do.
No.
You take it.
No.
You take that big.
No.
You load your lungs up with air. You load your lungs up with air, and then you just stop.
You know what?
You don't breathe. You know, just stop.
You're right.
You should do comedy, really,
No,
because you
no,
do.
this
You
is
really
life.
should.
No, this is
I know
life.
this is life, but you're bringing it in such a powerful way.
Well,
Yes,
laughter
no.
is healing. He make me laugh. He makes me laugh.
Yes. Let's listen to this too.
Yes,
Let's say you never act before,
yes.
and you're in LA looking at the movie studio.
I receive
You
it.
just want to visit them. So before you leave,
Yes.
this director says, how'd you like to be in a part? See what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's blowing out.
Yeah.
But see, for all the people that says none of us can act,
Yeah.
we don't know what's going to happen
Yeah.
after this play is over.
It's true.
But you know what? I always wanted to do,
can act
I always wanted to write a play myself for 1 hour.
Do it, Pops.
It's for 1 hour. And I would like for them to, everybody be in the 1 hour play.
We can do it.
Not like it is now.
Yes.
1 hour.
Just short, sweet, to the point.
Yeah. And I was telling them earlier, I'd like to write a movie.
Yeah.
And the movie's called The Dog Pound.
Oh, okay, Pops.
And I'd like for all three of them to be in it.
Don't leave me out.
And you know how the city of Dayton picks up dogs because somebody called
Yes.
the dog, the people to pick it up?
Yes.
Mine won't be like that.
Okay.
All three of us is like in a truck. It's not going to be called the Dog Pound. But on the side of the dog, the truck is like, it's got a cage.
That's what this
and the dog is on pleading for guilty. Like he's behind the cage, he's pleading
Pops,
to let me out.
I could see you doing something like that.
And our job is, we got a call to pick up this dog in a rich neighborhood. And then the whole neighborhood is scared of the dog. So we go look at the dog, and the dog is only 2 feet tall. And they scared of, well, why are you scared of the dog? Because they're scared of the way he howls. He howls. And the only way to stop his howling, you got to take him to the dog pound, to the doctor. Everybody's scared to take him to the doctor.
Put a muzzle on him.
I
Yeah.
can see that being a comedy like, what's his name? Chris
Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah, and then there's other
Execute
dogs along
comedy.
the way that
You can do it,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a Friday type
and,
thing.
and the other dog trucks can't catch him. And our job is to catch him because they're going to pay us more.
say that.
Yeah, that's and I'm ready to like that. Yeah, and they're gonna pay us $100,000 to get this much.
You know what I love?
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
the fact that you are still dreaming.
Yeah.
That you still have goals that
Yeah.
you're still gonna do.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
want to write too. I want to write plays and
They're gonna pay
movies.
us $100,000 to catch this dog. You're right.
All right, Pop, we holding you to it. Because
Okay.
I want my role in the movie now. Okay, don't forget about it. Look, when you blow up after this,
It's funny
right?
though, the dog pound.
Don't forget about it.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Look, Keith, your last words for us, for the kids? Any bars, any blessings? Did I?
For the kids,
Yes, say for the kids.
your kids.
My kid, all
We're
my
gonna put
kids.
some money in their pockets.
I'm gonna find that money.
No, we're gonna put some money in. You know, I found you. I know you got kids, so
Yeah.
Tuesdays and Thursdays, lawn service at my house.
Yes.
If they're looking to make some money and work,
Yes, my kids work. Yes, they do.
look them over.
Yes,
I
they
got
do.
plenty of work for
All
them.
right, Innocence, Braca. Listen, I'm coming for you.
Come
yes.
and get them teenagers in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen, they coming. They
Hey,
just
but
hit
on
me
a
up
serious
last week.
note, you know, I've met you this year, and looking forward to helping you in your journey.
Thank you.
Like I said, I am Team Leya.
Thank you.
Okay.
So,
Lord, hallelujah.
yeah. So let's just see what happens. And then, of course, the play, you know.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, say the play. Yes. Speaking of the play, let me say this.
Yeah, go to
Yes, because you got to announce for me too, because before I forget. But speaking of the play, I usually do what I call, Miss Charlotte, a lesson of the day. Or I switched it up to the lesson of the day. And so I like to leave the people with something to ponder on spiritually. And so when I was seeking the God of my understanding about us and what he had for us today, he gave me two scriptures. And one, the first was that, and I don't know where it is, I didn't do good on my homework, but the first is for us to not to be weary in well-doing. And I said, I know that was you, Lord. I know after this past week of what we have dealt with, I know that this is you. And so I wanted to pass that on to you all, to drop that in your spirit, because we are, and that's what he wanted me to ponder on, we are doing well. What are the areas in your life that you're doing well? Don't get weary in these areas. We have to keep going, and I have to, tell myself that with everything, with all of this, whatever. Yes, we have to keep going. So don't get weary and well doing. And I say that even for us, even the shout out to Mr. Cortez Jackson. Don't get weary, bro, man. Don't get weary. We love you. Keep doing what it is that you're called to do. This is your ministry, and the reality is, the way I look at it, if there's no opposition, I'm doing something wrong. That's how I feel. If I was doing, if everything always went, like for example, y'all see how today went. Oh, fine, computer, you just don't want to work. Oh, marvelous. Well, I'm so accustomed to it at this point. So yes,
smooth sailing until the storm come in.
Boom.
And you come with waves roar. I'm just saying, the wind blowing. So life is it has two sides to it.
Yes.
There's some good side, bad side,
Yes.
upside, downside,
Yes.
inside, outside. I mean, so but you just have to be able to roll with the tide.
Stay roll with the waves.
So you turn that
Yes.
sail to the course of the wind, where it can push you to where you're trying to get to.
Amen.
You know, and that's not getting weary and well doing.
Yes.
So what you're doing with your children, you just keep on doing that, and it gets heavy sometimes.
Yes.
And if you want to just give up, don't give up.
Amen.
He didn't give you this ministry to give up.
Amen.
This is something that you're going to do for a lifetime, you know, and then you're going to realize, you're not going to realize until later the lives you affected. Because those kids, like you say, the little kids talk about the party they had last year, you affected them with that. So you might be 10, 15 years from now and say, oh, that's Mr. You know. So yeah, I'm just saying that's what it is. So no, it gets bogged down, and you get worried, but then worry brings on weary. And weary, you want to give up.
Right.
But you're doing something that's needed. So think about what you're doing
Right.
and how it affected children.
You know.
And just keep going. That's all you do.
Thank you, and I'm gonna say this. It's like we were talking earlier, how we don't want to disappoint each other. I don't want to disappoint these kids.
Exactly.
beginning with my very own, but I really don't want to disappoint these kids. And I've given them my word, and they have expressed their visions and things that they want to do. For example, they want to put gardens up around the community, and they're so invested. They have the plan as to how we're going to do it. I said, okay, we get Walmart in here. Where are these gardens going? My kids have said, oh, they're going up the walls. And I mean, they're so strategic. They're so intelligent. And it's like, I got to keep going.
Yeah.
I have to keep going. I have to, and again, because trying to get them moving, it's called the Move Forward movement. But in that perspective with mental health, with everybody, that's the whole picture together now. Yes, we have to move forward. Yes, regardless to life coming and knocking you down or whatever happened yesterday or however things didn't go right, we have to move forward. And so, y'all, that's what I'm trying to teach these kids with my very last breath. And I had a friend recently just put a song in my spirit, and he said, and a couple lyrics to the song words, don't teach them wrong, teach them right.
Right.
And so to the point where when my kids came the other day, every time I see them, I revisit lessons that we've gone over. So, and I make them tell me, and I make them till we yell it, and it's imprinted in their head. And so to the point where I forget some of them, and they remind me. Yes, and one of our mantras is we ain't lazy. And so we work out and we burn out. And so they're in my living room, and y'all, you should have seen these kids, but they're all around the table. There's nowhere for them to go, but it's kids everywhere, if you can imagine, right here. And they're doing their push-ups, and they're showing me their yoga poses. And I said, y'all ain't been working out? And they, yes, I have. I've been doing my push-ups. And so they, but y'all, it's just, we have to just keep moving forward. And it's, it means more when I see them do it and I'm not priming or pushing, that it's really becoming a part of their makeup.
It's sinking into them. They're
because
taking initiative
to
do it themselves without being told.
Yes, and at this point, my youngest was 4. Now he's getting ready to go to school, and these kids, they're growing up. They're not the same kids they were when I first met them. You could see them on my social media. Some of them were shy and they didn't want to talk. And now, if I put the camera in front of them, now they're like, I'm ready. They got it. They ready for the show, to get the show on the road. But I'm gracious and queen, the queen to be. Any last words, bars, or blessings? Because you might rap yourself. I don't know.
I've just been so impressed with just hearing what everyone else has had to say. I can't wait to come to see you and do one of your performances. It's just been outstanding. One thing I kind of wanted to be able to be involved with kids in some way. I'm just really impressed with what you're doing. What I have done over the last couple of years is become a mentor for the Montgomery County, Ohio College Promise Program, where they assign you to a mentee, and you go to see them once a week at school, and just keep them going. If they continue to maintain what they have to maintain, then they get the scholarship and go on. And so that's a nice thing. But I'm just really impressed with what you all are saying about the things that you're doing. You're really making a life, and a real playing a very important part in the lives of young people. And just what I said earlier is to encourage them to take advantage of opportunities so that they know what the possibilities there are out there for them, and they can find a direction that feels right for them and create the life that they want to have. Yes.
Thank you. And I'm going to bother you and you and you and you when it comes to these kids. As I dot my I's and cross my T's, I promise you. So if I could have your support in any way, I will take it. And from the littlest to the biggest, whatever. Whether even if it's just, I said I'm going to have a committee where all you do is just pray. Just pray for the kids, just pray for us. That's fine. I'll take that too. But whatever and however God puts it on your hearts, or I'll take your donations or whatever it is. But lots of things in the works coming up, and I'm certainly gonna need y'all support. But I'm grateful that y'all came today. I'm grateful to have you. I want you to make the announcement for the play.
Oh, yes,
but I also don't want to forget, and I just want to say this for the people that are struggling. You're going through it. You felt like I feel. You have a birthday blues. Happy birthday to everybody's birthday that's out there today. Happy birthday to all the Leos. But for those of you that feel like you just, today ain't your day, or yesterday wasn't your day, or you're just contemplating and having some negative thoughts, allowing these thoughts to flow, I like to shout out and the National Lifeline, the National Suicide and Prevention Lifeline. And the number has changed. They've made it a lot easier on us. It's 988. 988. 9 is the number of government, if I'm not mistaken. 8's new beginnings. 988. So get your new beginnings in order. Amen. And call them and talk to somebody.
Amen.
One thing that y'all may not know, I actually am a licensed counselor with the state of Ohio. I'm not practicing, but I believe in therapy. I believe in talking to somebody about something. If you need to use that number, use it. Use it. And I'll be honest with you, I grew up in church. Sometimes you can't talk to your pastors. Some of y'all can't talk to your pastors. Some of y'all ain't got great pastors. Sorry. It's
Keep it
true.
real.
Oh, you know, this the real, the raw, the relevant. I was being nice today because y'all are my guests.
Right, I can tell.
And it's my birthday.
But it's better, it's good when you can talk to someone who's been through it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who made it through it.
Yes.
And they can give you some insight to where a pastor might not have, per
Right.
se, or
Right.
whoever you are.
Right.
But someone that's been through it, they can say, well, no, don't do that, man. Now the outcome might be the same, but there's a price for it.
Yeah.
And we're trying to want them to avoid paying that heavy, deep price that's going to take them out of life,
Yeah.
and everything. That's what
Absolutely.
so we have to, so every time, gotta go to pastor. I'm just saying, some spiritually, it's about people just living life real.
Yeah.
And say, this is the real deal. This is what can happen if you go out and rob that bank. The bottom line, you can go to jail, you can get shot, or you can kill somebody. I'm just saying, this thing can happen.
Yes.
So you just want to be straightforward with them, and they appreciate it because you told them the truth.
Yes.
Told the truth.
Yes.
Bottom line.
And have a mentor you can go to. Have somebody that you know is going to keep it all the way real with you. That's not going to sugarcoat nothing.
No.
Have folks
Let me
around
sugar
you
your coffee, let it
that
go.
can pull your coattail if if I need you
Don't need
to.
no yes man.
Yeah,
No,
we don't
no.
need none of that.
No.
None of that. But reach out, talk to somebody if you need to. And those of you that are on the loving end, that are on the spreading the light and love, that today is your day and you're okay, man, when you give a hug, give a great hug. Make sure they can feel the hug. I'm talking about when I hug, I make sure people can feel Leya was here. There is pressure, okay? Because that hug might change that person's day. Or a compliment. I love complimenting people. I'm talking about people don't even know I'm sitting there and I'll just yell out my car, I like your hair.
Yeah,
And and people turn and smile and thank you. And the whole face will brighten up. But they
Right.
went from
Change.
walking with the head down to that little bit, that seed.
It
Yes.
makes a difference.
Throwing up your little extra change for the person in front of you in line, or every day, whatever it is.
Good morning.
Come on, it's a
another
homeless
one.
person in line in
That's
front of
another
you.
good morning.
free.
Yes, good morning.
That's it.
Yes,
That's
just
what's
speak.
love with the world.
Yes, just speak.
Good
God.
morning.
They
Yeah.
speak, yes.
Yeah.
But and my other couple tools for today, because I always like to leave my people with some kind of tools. If and when you're not ready to talk to somebody, or you just refuse to talk to somebody, read.
Okay.
I wrote that down somewhere. Just read. Just read. I don't care what you read at this point. I ain't gonna tell you to read the Bible. I don't care what you read. Read something. I don't care if it's the truth, if it ain't the truth. Just read. Just find something to read right now. I lied. I was reading Destroying the Spirit of Rejection. I'm still dealing with that healing. I'm learning how to receive and accept love. And y'all, I said I ain't reading that book today. That is not a birthday book. But I'm going right back to it. And now I'm reading The Yoga Mind, 52 Essentials of Yoga Philosophy to Deepen Your Practice. Y'all, this thing is blowing my mind. And again, I grew up heavy in the church. I'm talking about heavy. But this right here, this is blowing my mind. Teaching about intellect and really what we really should have been talking in the church, just the difference between you know, just the spirit, man, how your spirit, you know, we focus so much on the body. And the spirit life and spirit world is so
Starving.
Oh my God, it's so deprived, and we're just walking around. Speaking of movies, one that I'm going to do, even though I know you already got it, so this ain't going to be the title, but it's the title, The Walking Dead. I'm writing a movie about The Walking Dead because we are just so consumed with our everyday lives and you know, social media and this, but we are really walking around, you know, zombies.
That's the Walking Dead.
Oh God, the cell phone.
That's our problem today. Leave that stuff alone.
He's falling off cliffs.
If somebody wrote something about me on that Facebook, and I don't know who it was, you know what I do? Write back, and I say, you're not all that either, because you're not but a coward. So why are you hiding behind a little screen like you all that?
And a bag of
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you mentioned the numbers. You
You're
know,
right.
see, seven.
Yes.
Seven is complete.
Yeah, thank you.
8 is continual. 9 is infinity.
That's good. That's good. Here's another book, y'all. We getting up out of here. This is
Women only,
called
women only, get out of
It's
here.
called, but they've got one for men only too.
Okay.
For women only, for men only, by Shanti Feldhahn, Feldhahn. This is what you need to know about the inner lives of men. She also wrote one on what, for men only, what they need to know about the inner lives of women. And I picked this up from another podcaster. Shout out to AO, Anthony O'Neill. And he had it on there suggested, and I'm a Goodwill hunter. And I walked past and I'm like, hey, there's that book he was talking about. You know, got to support your other podcasts. And so I picked it up and started reading it, and I'm like, oh, this is powerful. And really, whether you're in a relationship or not, if you got men, if you're a woman and you got men in your life, whether it's your son, your husband, vice versa, this is a good one. But again, Miss Charlotte, and I have a million and one things on my bucket list. I said, I'm taking her idea, because this is a Caucasian woman, love you. But I said, I'm going to take her idea. I'm not stealing it. I'm just going to redo it. I'm borrowing it.
Yeah.
She borrowed it. But having went to college, she took surveys from men and put this information together. And I said, I would really love to do this and hear the black man's perspective on some things, and to hopefully heal the family. And so, but anyways, that's a project on my bucket list. So y'all find something to read, amen, and change your life. And I'm looking over my notes to see if I missed anything, which I always do, so it's fine. It's all good and gravy. But with that being said, we're going to re-announce the dates for the play. Y'all know the play got pushed back. Amen. Tis life. Thanks to the pandemic, thanks to COVID. So, Mr. Richard, give us the honor. Let us know.
Well,
let the people know where to go.
Here where we are now. As of last week, our producer told us that they had to change the date with everything going on with the medical situation and everything.
Yeah.
So now, the pandemic will be performing October the 28th. That's on a Friday, and the show starts at 7. The doors open up at 5 p.m. You start coming in. You can come in and see the vendors and everything. But the doors open up at 5. The play starts at 7. That's Friday, October 28th. Saturday, October the 29th, the doors open up at 2, and the play starts at 4 o'clock that afternoon. So all those who has tickets, those tickets are good. Don't throw them away. You just bring those tickets, and then it's scheduled for the 26th and 7th of August. But just you can write on there the 28th and 29th of October. They're good. So you just show up with those tickets, and they will be honored. You paid your money for them, and they will be honored. And also, they'll be letting you know there's on that Friday to Saturday there's an after party. So you have to hold on to your stubs to be able to enter into the program. They're gonna
Say party.
It's a party. It's a party.
October 28th and October 29th. Those are the dates for the play Pandemic. Come on out and use your tickets. And those who need tickets, you can get in touch with Mr. LEYA, Miss Charlotte, Mr. Young, peanut butter.
Peanut butter.
They gonna know my name. They gonna be like,
Peanut butter.
Right. They're going to say peanut butter had tickets. But no, we just want everybody to come out and enjoy this. I think you will enjoy it, because the cast, we're getting together and we're getting stronger as time goes by, and we're learning how to come together and do this right. So, and that's what we're about, trying to do it right and present it the best play we can. So we ask you to buy your tickets, and those who haven't, hold on to them and come on out. There'll be more announcements coming down the road through the production manager, Mr. Jackson.
Amen. Y'all, just to back my Bentley up, that scripture was Galatians 6:9. Don't be weary in well doing. Backing that Bentley up. And my message to the kids, leaving up out of here, is because y'all ain't weary. Y'all ain't old enough to be weary, so that ain't for y'all. That's for us. Even though this is, look, y'all gonna have to pass this on to your kids. But for the kids, it's wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and in all that getting, get understanding. If I'm gonna tell and teach these kids anything, if today is my last day, if this is my last birthday, if y'all never see me again, get wisdom. Teach your kids to get wisdom. It's applied knowledge. It's learning the truth. It's applying that experience. It's learning from other people's mistakes. It's taking what you read. It's deciphering from what you read. It's discerning. It's making it personal. It's wisdom. It's a bad girl. It's a bad girl. So listen, if you don't get nothing else, listen. While you trying to get a Bentley, Mercedes, a Jaguar, a Fendi purse, a man, a BBW, whatever, a weave, whatever you try, get some wisdom. That's what I need you to get today, okay? Get some wisdom and apply it to your life. Listen, I love y'all. I don't know if y'all's hearts are free. My collar's just busting full, but my heart is free, and I think the Holy Spirit is done. And when He done, I'm done. And we just gonna pray out. And if there are no other words, no other sayings. One last thing, what's going on with Dayton, Ohio? I've been working with this nonprofit for, it seems like almost 10 years, but at least 8 years, and they're having their 8th annual back to school giveaway September 3rd. Y'all know Mr. Dale Dalton. Y'all know what it is. You can find me on Facebook. We need your donations. We need your money. We need your time. We need it all. Hit up Mr. Dale Dalton. What's going on with Dayton, Ohio? We're having that big, every year he does his event for the kids. Y'all already know what it is. So just please support, and you can inbox me or hit me up if you need some more details. I love y'all. For those that are old school, the 741-741 and the old number is still the same. It's still reachable. But for those that are new school, 988. You can call or text 988 and talk to somebody. And or you can reach out to me. Y'all know I'll pray for you. Near or far, give you my word, what thus saith the Lord, and then I'm back to my business. All right? Ain't no magic wand over here. You got to apply this stuff to your own life. Look, Pops, you changed the game on that one. No magic wands. All right, no magic wands. Y'all do what you got to do, and we'll be back next week with peanut butter. I'm trying to be jelly. I'm trying to get in, okay? I'm trying to get a scripture, too.
Oh, okay.
God bless y'all. Thank you so much. Y'all made my day.
Well,
Y'all made my day.
Well, thank you.
I'm so grateful. And no, I ain't fixing to start thinking about what I'm going to do when I ain't breathing. I'm just going to keep moving forward. Keep it moving. God bless y'all. Namaste. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye. Yay. Okay, we are off the air. Praise the Lord. One more
You
stop.
sure that mic is off? We don't want to say nothing.
Right.